What's up, Gooch?
What's up, bun brother? How are you?
Bun brother forever. I don't care what Badger says.
We're always bun brothers. We're always bun brothers. Yeah.
You guys are going to be vegan sushi brothers. That's the best you're going to get, I think.
Well, not vegan, but you know.
No.
He'll be the California straight burger. How was that?
What's that? What is the California straight burger? What's that like?
Probably like some kind of lettuce and tomato and some avocado and like California straight stuff. Yeah.
The man can grill. He can grill though, so
he can. He can. Grill. Yeah.
Not bad. Thanks for coming on, Gooch. I know you got about half an hour with us. We're gonna hang out. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Let's bring in. How about this guy?
Yo,
handsome Matt Fowler.
What up?
What's up?
Not a whole lot, my friend. I'm excited. I did a little research and I've got some submissions for this conversation.
Nice.
Oh,
I've got some that I think you'll like too.
I'm innocent.
You're innocent? I don't know. You're not innocent, Gooch. You may not be guilty.
True.
But you're not innocent. Let's not go. Let's not go with that one. Matt, and I'm wearing the shirt like for both of you guys, but mostly for Matt because I know how much he loves Joe Biden and he misses his boy. So I got Let's Go Brandon shirt to celebrate my American friends and their victory in the 12-day war.
Dude, I'm so back on the Trump train. Like I feel so much more relaxed. I'm like, okay, cool.
Dude,
he's doing the right thing. All right, thank God.
8D chess.
I know. I was worried. I was so worried.
Dude, he played it. I mean, the guy's either just blessed and to be that lucky or a genius. Whatever.
I was wondering it.
Who cares?
Like people always say, like, is it planning or does he just like, kind of figure it out in the moment? And I'm like, which one's preferable? Because they're both pretty awesome, right? If you always plan it to work out that way, or if you just figure it out like Neo, like decoding the Matrix, like either one, they're pretty awesome.
The problem is that most presidents, their plans are like Thrawn, where everything goes to hell, and they still claim that was always my plan, and everything worked out the way I thought it would. I mean, Trump's easy. He tells you what he's going to do. Nobody believes him. Then he does it. Then they're shocked, and then they have to go and reset and rinse and repeat.
But this was such a good gambit because it shut everyone up. He shut up the conservatives, like the neocons, and he shut up Israel. It's like you all got what you wanted.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're done now.
Yeah, it was like, right. I'm only worried about this nuclear thing. Let's go.
Sorry, guys.
No. I want to get everyone in here because these are you guys. Alex has lots of opinions about politics and stuff. So
he does.
I'm going to want him to be able to. So that's why I rushed the intros.
Apologize. My bad.
Not bad at all.
You want to hear a good story about my lovely husband? Is like we went to this thing. We were trying to see if we wanted to join this church, and we went to this I think it was like Pints and Politics, and they had the speaker from the church, and they were talking about this totally like Agenda 2030 global homo thing that the church was doing, and Will just totally comes up and just says like the Pope, the communist.
That's awesome. That rules.
It was so awesome.
New York has a situation, huh? They're going to be looking like a little bit more.
I'm reminded of the H.L. Mencken quote that democracy is the idea that the common people know what they want, deserve to get it good and hard. And I believe New York's about to get it good and hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But is that guy top or bottom? I've been trying to figure that out.
Well, he just topped the entire city, so
he'll be on top of that city.
I don't know, you guys.
You have family still out there?
First time in my life. Let's all just go ahead and say it. We're for the Black Democrat. Like, let's go, Eric Adams.
Let's do it.
Well, I can't say for the first time ever because I was an Obama simp the first time around in 2008. I was in college. You got to cut me some kind of slack.
No,
you were.
No, nobody has to do that.
He was so charismatic.
As a Canadian,
it was the crease of his pants. That was what really got mad.
There's an expression that if you're a Democrat when you're old, you're retarded. If you're a Republican when you're young, you're a sociopath.
I don't think that's quite the expression.
No, it's not quite it. No,
the expression goes, if you're not a liberal when you're younger, you've got no heart. And if you're not a conservative when you're older, you got no brains. I think that was Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
I
believe the cutoff is 30.
Liberal
yeah.
I liked mine.
Thank you, Jake Martin. Thank you. Appreciate you for 10. That's awesome. 10 Zach's memberships. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate those. It helps a ton. Thank you, Jake. And for that, I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes look at Matt talking about his college experience.
No one gave a shit. Trans teacher in college. A trans teacher and a midget in the same semester. I mean, come on. What are you doing? I just got out of high school. Give me a break. This is tough. This is tricky. Luckily I was a big lib gay boy, so I was very accepting.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much more diversity you want than that.
Yeah.
How does the midget
Someone's
fit?
California straight over here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Matt.
Just one little bleep, and that whole little segment changes.
It's almost like you wanted it to go that way. Like it's
I
almost as though you willed it into existence.
I thought it was a hilarious thing to relay that I had those as teachers. I thought it was in the same semester. It was my first college experience, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, I thought it was a three-way. I didn't know it was teachers. Sorry.
I don't know. It's college, right?
Taking turns.
He's got to get those grades somehow.
That's the problem with those thems. You can't figure out singular plural.
This was very much a him.
You have to check the gender fluid.
This was before they were what they call passing. It was very obvious. This was a dude. It was like, whoa. It was my first experience with it, and I was like 19. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck?
First experience.
That's a clip too, Matt. That's a clip too. Thank you. That's
Yep. There we go.
This is going to be an all clip show. I can already tell.
It is.
Words are
Corey.
Keep digging my hole deeper. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
that too.
Knew you guys were going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I said it.
Keep talking, Matt. Let's go.
Yeah.
Cage and Corey, what's up? 18 months. What's good, yo? What's good with you, Corey? Thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. I'm gonna give you this is a fun one.
Wow. That was awesome.
1 in a million shot.
And they saw like the garbage juice leak out at the end. That was so gross.
He had a tight guard,
great.
though. He was very tight in that
guard.
He was.
He looked like he knew how to fight.
I mean, that first punch he landed was good. And
a couple of nice crosses,
Yeah.
Vote Nadia 2028 US. Oh.
Well, speaking of what's worst.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if we're just voting for
suddenly that Muslim socialist doesn't look so bad. Sorry. Didn't mean to talk over you.
No, we're good. This is for you.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ouch.
Man. How long did it take for that river to refill?
That looked like Falcon Lake.
Hey, that'll be our secret. That's our secret, Falcon Lake. Josh, for 26 months, that's over 2 years. I'm over here like, what kind of gay man jokes can I make? And Lady B is like, we're looking into joining a church.
Pray the gay away. That's what they're doing. Pray the gay away.
We cover all of it here. How about this?
How much money do you send them on a monthly basis?
I send my children $750 a month.
$55.
I mean, at that point, he won. The judge had to go ahead and give him the judgment.
What choice would you have?
Yeah.
Naughty was first. We got Mystic Vegeta. Thanks. Second, I guess so. Were you in and out tonight? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. In and out. Lisa Richards, hello.
I know. I had the wrong sign in on there, so you all know my real name.
You shouldn't have said that.
Whoops.
We would have never put that together. That's okay because we're distracted by lovely Sherry.
Yeah, try Sherry.
I mean, I'm glad she wrote such a long message. I'm just taking a moment to read it. It's
got to read all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a deep person.
It's a cherry bomb.
She looks smart.
Very smart. She's very smart. She has lots of brains.
And talent.
Peepers. Talent everywhere. What's up, Peepers? Peepers is that a sheep? Are you a sheep now? What is this?
No, it's that
like
cat thing.
It's a kitten.
That's the titty kitty.
On Sin's
It's
titty.
On
kitty.
Cinders.
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, let's go. Right?
Starting off right.
Each other.
Quite
It
frankly.
works.
Yep.
What's
Start the day off right.
Potato. Thanks for coming. We got Goodwin in the panel, in the chat. Dildo, what's up? You know, Dildo, if I had music I could play for, like a after school special or something, well, maybe I have something close to that I can maybe play for you. We were kind of worried about you because you were missing from some shows last week, and everyone's like, "Where's Dildo? What happened to Dildo?" And you're here. You survived. You came back to us, and
Oh yeah.
let's go, Dildo.
Oh my God! I'm starting to head into the ceiling fan.
Oh, thanks, Dildo. We appreciate you, dude, and we do notice when you're not around. So just like don't go anywhere. We're on a fly. What's up? Hello. We got lots of what is this?
Avocado.
Oh, that's from Mo.
Mo.
California.
Avocado time, baby.
Yeah, California.
I miss my
Mo
avocado
was still
tree.
yesterday too, actually. At some point.
I'm not sure that's the origin of that, but I'll just let you think that.
Okay.
Cali life. There it is. We got but no Palestinian presidents. Not gonna happen. Probably not good. I mean, you'd have Matt's vote, but I don't know about anyone else here. So what's up, love it?
What's up?
Let me know if you want a link. I'll send you one. So Assassin, the mod commander in the chat, pulling out links from everywhere all the time. He's like a savant of some style, and we appreciate him for being here. Tina's here. Joshy. Matt has also ordered a dress. Just saying.
It's not a lie.
Oh boy, I'm getting quite the history here.
Well, I thought you were going to say excited for just a moment.
No.
He did live in California.
Did.
Matt was an actor
in the arts. Yeah.
Did you go to a Diddy party ever?
Is that what they're calling gay porn now? The arts?
It's artistic, yeah.
It was work. It was
an
an
educational
commercial. It wasn't even like a real commercial. It was just like a spec commercial. I think I got like $150 for it, maybe.
Wow.
I think you've made more than most of the aspiring actors in California. Then,
yeah, they probably had to do less humiliating stuff, though.
Trash well, I gotta find your commercial then. Or you're short. You were smoking. That's all I can recall from it. You were outside smoking.
Oh, the short film. Yeah, that's on my YouTube channel.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that. Das Wolfen's here. Good to see you, Das Wolfen. Davina Duckworth is in the house. E. Clay Thomason, thanks for coming over, guys. People are rolling in still, and I'd love to see that. Timescales, it's been a minute. Good to see you, Timescales. Glad you're hanging around. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think that's good. I think that's everybody for now. Shiawal. Hell, dude. It was awesome meeting you in Vegas. Just use the butter churn method. Okay. I missed something there, but that's fine.
Batteries and dildos.
He served drinks at a Diddy party. Did you really, Matt?
I did not. No, those were all in New York, right? I was in LA.
I mean, did he just confine himself to the New York area, or was he able to fly to other states?
I don't think I've ever. I saw Kanye at a party. It was like
This is just making too much sense now.
It was it was a boat party, and it was like everyone wore white, and it was for one of the Kardashian sisters' like engagement to some basketball player, and so they had like this big boat party, and Kanye and Kim were there, and they just slept on a couch in the middle of the party the entire night. It was so weird.
That's weird.
It was so weird. They just literally just like both just laid on a couch sleeping the entire night. It was insane.
Okay, but be honest, Matt. Did you spoon him or did attempt to spoon him at any point while he was sleeping?
No, but I shared some political point of view with him. You know, I was like,
did you have a pillow fight and accidentally kiss?
No. Khloe Kardashian gave me a hug.
Oh.
Is that one of the attractive ones?
Yeah.
Kind of. She's
How many rounds of penicillin does it take to clear that
Is
up?
there an attractive
look good.
Kardashian?
She looked pretty good.
I don't know. I know there's apparently
charge,
good-looking
Gooch.
ones and ugly ones.
Did she look like the chunkier ones?
Yeah, she's like thicker, bigger. Yeah.
Yes, Nats. I know.
That's really narrowing it down on the Kardashians.
I don't like. I don't know her beyond like that moment and her existing. You know what I mean? I can't like point to her work. You know.
I don't think she has any really.
Because there's like, what's the one that's like the younger, hotter one? The model. Kylie.
Kylie
Jenner. Yeah.
Kylie Jenner.
I don't know. I don't even know how many there are. I don't know.
Yeah. People,
I never saw
feeding
Caitlyn
them after.
Jenner.
Keep
Never
feeding them
saw
after
Caitlyn
midnight.
Jenner.
They keep growing.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Gooch actually knew the answer to that. So the California is already starting to affect him.
He's absorbing it.
Just osmosis.
It's like the Borg.
Well,
it just
it's
takes
from
in.
him. I'm sitting beside Matt. It's like,
Yeah, that's what it is. Quick, close the blinds.
Why is Gooch sitting cross-legged on the floor in a room with nothing but a Tanto short blade, like he's about to commit seppuku?
Well, yeah, you never know.
I think that's not fair. He has an ass man license plate still, so that's something else. He's going places. Gooch, you can't stay with us for too long. So, do you want to tell people what's going on with you at all, and update them on your channel and what's coming next? Before
yeah, a late night with Gooch and gang is this Sunday night. First one since a couple weeks ago. So, and this one's from the US. This one's from California. So that's what's happening. And I'll be going full time doing the channel, talking, animation. That guy down there, me and him are going to be doing some reviews. We had a blast doing Killer of Killers and Samurai Jack, breaking down the animation, breaking down the story, plot, and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to be discussing mental health and life on my channel a little bit more often. And that's what I'm doing. It's having some fun with it. So,
you're doing the daytime shows too, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be going through the day. I might do solo leveling Tuesday nights. I have to do season 2 at least. So the guys have been chomping at the bit to get at season 2. So we'll be doing that on Tuesday nights again. So other than that,
well,
everything's
so the topic that I
do.
do worst seasons. And if you can pinpoint the worst episode of some good series. So the criteria, the series has to otherwise either had been good or had a chance to be good and was killed or ruined by a season or an episode. And you can sometimes pinpoint them. I've looked into it a little bit. And Gooch is here. I want to use this one. This is one that I think a lot of people can agree on. And I know, Gooch, you covered it. You've lost a part of your soul. Cover it. Yeah, man. Arcane season 2, baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I, for the record, never liked Arcane.
Same.
Fuck it.
I liked it when I first watched season 1, then I watched season 2, and I'm like, because I think you were still watching season 1 with me. And then we're like, this really wasn't that good.
I hate when Matt's right about stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, he did call this one out whenever we all loved it. Season 1, he didn't watch past episode 3, I think.
As far as I could take it.
Yeah. And we laughed at you. You got trolled.
I know. And everyone, me and Mark the Cyborg, argued about it on the cocktail lounge, and no one saw what I saw. Except for Vidge. Shout out Vidge.
So what happened with this? Why did it go so wrong, Gooch? What do you think was the turn?
Okay.
A great show.
And I think Goodwin can vouch for me on this one. We did season 1. It was, I thought, done really, really well. And I thought season 2 is going to be a disaster because people are going to get their hands in there and they're going to start doing what they feel needs to be done for the series, which is all about them. So this story went from a great storyline with 2 sisters. It was like a great antagonist, a lot of psychological aspects to it, to 180 of we don't even know what the hell's going on, because it started off with the season 2 started off with a character we didn't even freaking care about, the mother and her death. So they focused on too many characters that were meaningless. The lesbian crap, it was a complete mess for season 2. And the animation, they were just doing a lot of cheap tricks with animation in season 2, trying to show off their talents. And I think it was to promote their studio a lot more in season 2 than anything. So yeah, it's a shame, because you could have had a really, really good series after season 1.
Goodwin?
Yeah, I mean, it just became incoherent. I mean, there were multiple episodes that we all just kind of looked around and went like, I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, I can state the events to some degree, but there's no coherence and they don't make sense. And half of the figures, because they're not really characters, I mean, they're like walking plot devices, but that would assume there's a plot. The drop between season 1 and season 2 was insane. I mean, I was worried that season 2 was going to be a step down. The step was like off of the edge of the earth and then just fell into the abyss. I believe it's still falling. It is, and there were. So yeah, it drew the Eye of Sauron from all the busybodies that wanted to go ahead and get their grubs into it for season 2 because it was successful. But the other thing is that the main showrunner had tried to get Arcane made for, what was it, like 7 years, and they kept turning him down. And he got a partner, and then they built a writing team. And when they submitted that treatment, then they got the green light. In 2020, that guy and then a woman who had never directed any animation before essentially fired all the other writers, and the partner that helped like get things together, he pulled away because he's like, I'm not dealing with this stuff. And so yeah, you basically had two mental midgets decide to run this thing, and boy, that's exactly what we got.
Yeah, it was a complete 180. Yeah, the characters went against what they established in season 1, and it was so confusing. It was so annoying. It was just a complete mess.
Yeah,
there was no investment in season 2 at all. Like, you didn't care about any character because it was just everything was so surface level and quick paced, and there's too many storylines going on. You had no idea what was happening. Even the ending was a complete disaster. That was a big joke. So yeah, I just didn't. It was a shame because you had something really, really great in season 1, and I just had a feeling that season 2 was going to be people getting their paws in there and wanting to do something for themselves instead of serving the characters.
Yeah, like that part where they brought back the dad. Like, what the heck? This is so random.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, and it's worse because we had Nick from the Plot Strikes Back on there, and he very much knows the lore of the game or whatever. And so he always kind of had to do okay, I'm viewing it as what they set up in season 1 and then season 2. He goes, but from a lore standpoint, they are destroying everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew they were bringing Vander back, and I was excited about that because I like Vander was an awesome character. But then they brought him back like this, and then for no reason, like he basically didn't do. He had nothing to do with anything that actually lasted. The Warwick version of him was just it was a waste of time and energy. And
I mean, you're looking at like the 2 worst alleged characters.
Exactly.
Right, I mean, the whole child plot device that literally fell out of the sky.
Yeah, she was like the baby Powder for Powder, which was weird because I'm like, this is a weird grooming situation or what.
But even Powder, it was like, it's almost like they looked at DC Comics and said, hey, we got a Harley Quinn character. Yeah. All right, let's totally fuck this character up and implement what we know and our activist ideals and everything, and let's put it in here. And it just fucked up that character, and the same thing with her sister. Complete 180. Like I keep saying, it's complete 180 from what you saw in the first season. You saw these characters develop and establish a certain life that they've always wanted, and they went through all this trauma to get there, and they still are suffering and still focused on just trying to survive. To this, I'm gonna sit here in prison and then make out with the
while my sister is gonna go and off herself and.
What the?
I mean, it was clever, in the first season, the characters had trauma. In the second season, the audience did. So, that was a subversion.
Yeah.
Like, I actually loved season 1 to the point where I couldn't believe that there's no way they could screw this up, is what I thought. And I knew a little bit about it. Right.
I admire your optimism, sir.
Just wait the Superman.
So there's there are red flags in shows. And I feel like Arcane season 1, if you liked it, even if you really liked season 1, you had to acknowledge there were a whole bunch of red flags that the show, if you liked it, you kind of felt like they wove in between those red flags. So even if you like season 1, you had to think to yourself, like, okay, there's a decent chance they're going to hit one of these things really hard next season. Just because.
Yeah, the red flag was Caitlin. She literally was like a plot device in season 1, and then in season 2, she suddenly becomes the main character for some reason. And again, characters being very generous.
I mean, it was a show about girls with vibrant colored hair with superpowers that weren't really explained well. There were way more red flags than Caitlin. Like there was, you were driving through a landmine from season 1 on,
handily beating the shit out of 300-pound giant henchmen without not even a single blow landed. Like just cutting through them like butter, and you're like, so she's invincible. Cool, very compelling hero.
I'm sad that I wanted to learn more about the Victor story. Like that was really cool. And it's like, what happened? Like, what was this change? Like, I mean, I feel like if you're going to tell a story, like that's a story to tell. Cause this is a guy that like developed all the hex tech. And then he goes into this sort of like, what is that called? Like it's sort of ethereal world, and it's different, and there's like things happening, and then his friend or whatever, I don't remember his name is there, and he gets stuck in there, and he ends up coming out with a giant sword. Like I don't know.
Oh, that idiocy! And then you have
that was pretty stupid.
The kid that goes back in time to different time area, and you had Heimerdinger that's just been hanging out there doing.
Heimerdinger was weird. Like that guy was like really creepy. I was like, I don't know.
He is. Yeah.
This picture right here, another character we see, but
Shield Man. I don't think we ever decided what his name is.
And
he looked cool.
Waste of time.
Yeah, it's basically it's like a flashback to your daddy, but then he's irrelevant.
And we got Caitlin, who was the real star of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. I could not believe how badly the second season went and how they fucked it up. I didn't finish the season. I didn't watch the last 2 episodes because you guys I was done with it, and then listened to your reviews and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna stay done with it. I don't have to watch this. There's no reason to go through this, so I bailed on it but I watched the first season like probably I think 3 times.
I mean, it has great writing and great characters, but Jesus, second season was eat your crayons level of writing.
Yeah,
and it was hate your audience too. Let's.
Well, they changed audiences, so they got the mouth breathers that are like, look, I like pretty pictures or whatever, but I mean, the best stories are music videos in each episode of season 2. I was like, can I just watch that instead? Those are more interesting.
I literally thought I was watching AHA videos the whole fucking season. I was like, oh, geez, man, like this is ridiculous. Again, trying to show off their animation, techniques and styles, and look at us, look at what we can do.
I think it was just brain dead writers that were giving Fortiche, the most retarded possible option, and it was like, all right, we're gonna try and make it work, and you got what you get.
And now everyone's trying to copy this style, and it's just like, oh, please stop.
No, it worked once. Nadia, I got something for you here.
Like Zach's he doesn't treat me nice. Zach's, you're not a good podcaster. You don't know to conduct interviews at all. You're a 45-year-old man, and I pray for your family.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. So, Gooch, before we lose you, this is from Alex. And this is interesting. Save queer stories. I want to get your response from this, Gooch, before you go. So apparently, queer stories are being canceled, and there's stats to back it up. 48% of queer inclusive TV shows are canceled or ending, versus 28% of other shows.
We need to get that number up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rookie numbers, come on.
Yeah. It should be 84% canceling shows, but
you could do better, Senator.
Just me. I don't like.
No
one gives a shit. No one gives a shit about these shows. They're like, we're seeing what is Ironheart.
Fuck.
Boy, that sounds like even worse than like it could have been.
Like, no one cares about this shit. Like,
yeah,
we don't.
I will not have slander of this year's best unintentional comedy series.
Is it like a Backwoman or whatever, where it's like
it's acolyte levels of idiocy?
Well, she's unlikable too.
I've seen, it just seems exactly unlike. There's grating. It just looks awful.
On purpose too. They're doing it on purpose, and they get what they want with that. But
Good
yeah,
luck.
This is interesting, and it may be like when you base a story around a sexual preference.
Yes,
you don't have much to work with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, especially when that's all there is, right? I mean, we had Queer as Folk, back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
The L word.
Yeah, the L word. These again written well, but I think it's great that we're seeing the cancellation of some of the more egregious shows that just focus on certain traits. But what do you replace it with? Because I don't think you have any talent left. I think you chased it out of the industry and you replaced it with mouth-breathing morons. So even if they put away the politics that you don't like, they don't magically become competent.
No, they don't. And the other thing, because I was watching this show Stick, and it started off really good, and then they do this like woke inclusive character who's got pronouns and is giving lectures, and just because then she becomes a really important part of the show out of nowhere. It's so ridiculous. The thing I was thinking about that is like, look, the culture has changed dramatically, and what people are tuning into has changed. But California, LA probably has not. Like at my time out there, like it's not to say that literally everyone had the same opinions, but no one ever dare voiced a contradiction. Right.
Oh my God. Yeah. You cannot say anything. Yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah. Like the de facto opinion. So I don't know what it's like out there now, but I imagine there's still a hefty dose of like,
I'll let you know.
It's implied. But I feel like there's an implied compliance, and nobody's gonna like loudly say, "Hey, no one's into this gay shit." Like they still have to kind of dance around it. You get like a Taylor Sheridan here and there who can kind of slip through, and Guy Ritchie's got enough pedigree to do shows that aren't obnoxious and gay. But for the most part, I still feel like they're all still melting down about Trump. I can't imagine it's just going to be a light switch in that industry.
Nope.
At all.
No. I just don't care. I like, if you're gay, you're gay. I don't need to know what you do in the bedroom. Like I really don't care. Like it's
you're
just,
gay.
That's the thing. Yeah. If you're gay, I have no problem with that. But like if you're gonna shove it in my face everywhere I go, everything on TV, everything like everywhere, you're gonna get people resenting it. You're gonna get people angry. You're gonna get people like just saying, "Fuck this shit. I don't want it," and you're making people angry. Like they're causing their own issues. They're getting in the way of themselves.
Well, there's it definitely amuses me that this is queer stories. Gay people are mostly like, shut the hell up. We are sick of your shit.
The OGs are like,
right. And understand, queer doesn't mean what you think it means, right? That it's not the cute word that we use for gay back in, in a certain era, right? Queer has a very specific meaning. And it comes out of critical studies in the grievance studies area, right? Queer theory includes minor attracted persons, and every
Furries.
other, furries and all that, right? That's the Q. Q is basically the catch-all bucket of whatever degenerate insanity you can throw in there, and between the Qs and the Ts, and the Ts mostly are cosplayers. They're not actual, transsexuals, because the numbers are way off, right? We don't suddenly go from like 0.03 to 10%. Right.
I was just listening to a podcast before. It's called Mother Matriarch. What is it called? Made in Mother Matriarch. And the title is Where Have All the Lesbians Gone? And it's like, just, someone that's my age that lived through this stuff kind of like I did. And it's like, I watched all of my butch lesbian friends become trans. It's very interesting. But.
Yeah. Well, I mean, between you have Tom girls, lesbians, and then God help the kids that have autism.
Yeah.
I was going to say to your point, Gooch. Oh, sorry. Just for what you were saying before, like as far as people being sick of it, I think it's very evident now. I mean, I imagine you guys have some normies in your life. You guys have some normies in your life who are like, absolutely, they're over it too. Like when my mom is like, like rolling her eyes at like the forced representation, or like my ex-girlfriend who, isn't in on any of this conversation, when she was just like, it's every show, all of a sudden this person becomes gay. Like she was like annoyed with it, so it's, if it reaches that many people and that many people are over it and rolling their eyes at it, it's like, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, you have one is people start noticing, man, this sure seems formulaic, because every show is doing the exact same thing with a character or whatever. But I think that there's still a decent number of people whose empathy can be weaponized.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And that's really what goes on. If you don't accept this crazy idea that your kid had because they're 12 and they don't, I mean, how many jobs did you want to be, just in the year of being 12? But no, they said this, you have to affirm them or they'll kill themselves.
Oh, fuck.
Right. And again,
welcome,
it's weaponized.
What a time to jump in. Jose Boni's in the house. Welcome, Mo.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, dude. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Say hi to Mo, everybody.
Hi, Mo.
Hi, Mo.
Notice you timed that as soon as we were talking about Save Queer Stories, and
then the Mo waltzes in.
Yeah, here he is. Yeah,
I sashayed in. Yes.
Yeah.
Draconis gifted one Zach's membership. Thank you very much for that, and become a member yourself, dude. I appreciate that very, very, very much, and I'll give you two clips for that one. Do this first.
Your favorite dish? My favorite dish. I like mugs because they're very comfortable in your hand and they hold the hot things that you don't have to touch.
I'll never get sick of that.
Yep.
And the toothbrush.
When my son was teething, he used to like to take the big fat rubber end of my vibrating toothbrush and put it in his mouth and he'd just kind of sit there like, oh yeah, that feels good. That hits a spot. My gums are itchy. And he'd sit there with
I like how he's like, okay, like, what are you saying?
She seems nice
on the news.
She's in Winnipeg now. She's one of our local anchors here. So yeah,
she had the Canadian.
Does it include sheep? Asking for a friend? Yes. Definitely it does.
Yeah.
Well, not the sheep themselves, but those who love sheep. Yeah.
Scotland, New Zealand. You guys are
New Zealanders
for sure.
Got the Velcro gloves helping the sheep over the fence.
Mm-hmm. Mo, how does this make you feel that 48% of queer-centered shows are being canceled as opposed to 28% of other shows? Are you angry?
I'm angry because it's not 100%. Get rid of all of them.
Exactly.
Bring back the Rifleman and other based ass shows. I want Bonanza, all right?
Bonanza, yeah.
When are we getting F Troop reboot, huh?
Have Gun Will Travel.
Yeah, I like westerns. They're fun. I like man being man.
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't know about that. I mean, now we're getting crazy here. Come on.
It's all of assuming.
I do have to bounce out of here.
Yeah. Yes.
Nothing but love. Oh yeah, there we go.
Appreciate you, Gooch.
Bye, Gooch. Yeah. California.
Thanks for coming on.
Yes, I'm loving it out here.
I know it's so nice.
Of course.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I got a lovely person I live with, so
you do.
Can't complain.
I'm gonna come visit gonna force myself upon
Yes.
you.
She says you better get your ass out here. So.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get in really good shape. I'm gonna come out there and I'm gonna steal you back.
You're in good shape.
Wait, are you going back to Canada? Or are you just like, is this forever?
Hell no.
Nope,
Yeah,
you're down there forever now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, boy.
With men. Thanks, Gooch.
Nothing but love, guys. Chat. Take her easy.
Later, Gooch.
See you later, Gooch.
See you, man.
Bye, Gooch.
Yeah, speaking of men who used to be men, bye, Gooch.
Yeah, the part of that graphic that cracked me up was it was like Save Queer Stories was sharing it, and the only thing I could think was, why are you telling me that Queer Stories are a giant financial liability if you're trying to get more of them made?
From their perspective, right? It's they're still running with like this kind of, there's a latent bias in the world that hates gay people, and look at them trying to get rid of us. They're trying to silence us by canceling all our shows, even though Hollywood could be the gayest place on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it stole San Francisco's crown quite a long time ago, mostly because people left San Francisco.
Dude, some of the most high-powered people in Hollywood are all gay. Like, I would work these parties, and I'm like, that guy owns CAA, that guy owns these guys are like, they're all gay. I'm like, these guys, you're not oppressed at all. There is zero like powers working against you here.
Right, but the magical figures that they have in their head that exist out in the hinterlands of the world, that's the real problem. And
some like a 70-year-old Trump supporting dad makes decisions in Hollywood, apparently.
Exactly. Yeah, your uncle could show up. He leaves Thanksgiving dinner, and then suddenly he's in charge of Hollywood.
No, there's no more gay people on TV. No,
that's right. Oh no.
So the topic tonight is we're talking about really bad seasons of TV, some of the worst, and episodes that may have actually killed a series. That they were so bad or so weird or so strange. We talked about Arcane season 2 already. Do you have one that comes to mind for you, Mo?
Well, I haven't watched. I kind of have it like the one that always enters my mind, aside from one that kind of flips that on its head, which is Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. Which was. It went into the writer's strike and the show died, but it had the best cliffhanger of anything Terminator in a long time.
Yeah.
Really annoyed me because I was really looking forward to what they were doing with that. But
that was a good show.
I watched Alias with my wife. I was dating her at the time when that was out. And I was actually okay. I was like, all right, that's cool. And we were watching it, and like the seasons kept getting better and better. But then the last season, especially the final episode, they just rushed through it, and it was shit. It was so bad.
That was a JJ production, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. But it was really good when it was like in its prime. It was Mystery Box, but like it worked back then because it was basically like simple spy stuff, and it didn't try to go beyond, like what it thought it was. Unlike Lost just huffed its own farts. Alias, not so much. It relied on Jennifer Garner, and Bradley Cooper was in it too. And the guy that played who was the villain? I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but all the actors in there were great. They did a great job, but they rushed it towards the end so he could get the Lost, and they ruined it. Yeah. So, yep, I remember. Yeah,
Anima.
Yep.
What's up? I was like, she's normally sleeping by now, so it's good to see you in the chat. So Alias took a dive at the end. I got one here that people in the chat have been talking about, and I got this from Emperor Goodwin as well. So this Altered Carbon season 2. If you guys watched Altered Carbon,
oh man,
yeah, that's a
season 1. Season 1 was fucking awesome.
Yes, that was such a cool show. I loved it. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I would say definitely. I don't mean to be that guy, but read the book. The book is fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good. It's richer, and like it even has more stuff that some of the show left out, and it's more. It feels even more exotic. It's such a spectacularly written show. I've read most of the books in that franchise, and the first one is just so good. And the show did a pretty good job adapting it.
Season 1.
Yeah. Season 1. Oh, season 2 has nothing to do with the book at all. Like in season 2, they're like on another planet, like pursuing some ancient like Martian spacecraft, and they have to like go on to this. It's like this whole thing that's really compelling sci-fi, and that's like that's not even in that show. They didn't even bother with that.
No.
It was
they
amazing how bad that first episode of season 2 was. Like I didn't watch the first season until the second season came out. So I watched the first season, loved it, got like 30 minutes into the second season and just was done. Like it was so bad, so fast.
So fast.
Couldn't stick with it. Like it
almost immediately. And Anthony Mackie like didn't even know it didn't seem like he knew what he was doing there.
Yeah, like why did they have to change that? Like didn't they get the whole point of it? It's like a guy that was like, I think the original guy was like Polish and Japanese, and then he ends up in a different body. So it's like we don't need to wokeify the show. Like the inherent concept of the, what do they call it, the sleeve, was sort of like it's gonna change all the time.
I knew we were in trouble with that show when I heard the creator talking about it, and this was well before season 2 came out, but she was talking about it and was saying, oh, they race swapped, they took an Asian guy and made him white, but they didn't know like the actual story was that it was always switching sleeves. And she was like, I hear you and I totally understand why you'd feel that way, but and she was pandering to it, and I'm like, don't fucking pander to that bullshit. And I was like, oh, she's one of them. So when the second season sucked, I was like, yeah, I'm not shocked.
It's a lore universe they created where it doesn't, like, race doesn't matter at all anymore, because everyone's a sleeve, and it doesn't matter what that sleeve is, like ethnic background would be. And they took that and they decided to make that the entire focus of season 2, and they did that. And Anthony Mackie, people like him and whatever. I used to, but he plays Anthony Mackie in everything, and he's Anthony Mackie in this show. And Joel Kinnaman was fantastic in that role, and you could tell like he suffered physically for that role. And he was beast. He was a fucking monster.
It was freakish how muscular he was. I was like, is that even possible? Is that CGI?
Oh, dude, he worked so hard to maintain that too, because he looked at that all season long. We got to see boobs everywhere in season.
That detective chick was so hot.
I didn't even like. I wasn't even annoyed by the like Hispanic like sidekick lady. Like she was. She was fine.
I think she's Hispanic in the books too.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to just say it's like, you don't really have like a problem with it if it's just something that's in the story and no one's over like, I'm a Latina woman and making a huge deal of it. No. It's like if you work it into the story, nobody cares.
No, yeah. Like her family's Catholicism is a big part of the story.
Yeah. I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
Like so many shows like just totally like leave that out. Like one of the things, like I watched Shogun. I really liked the show, but then I read the book and realized just how much of the book that they left out, and how much of like the what is this, Anjin and what's her name was like, it was like a like philosophical and religious experience too, and they just totally left that out of the book. I got really mad.
But that's why I was complaining about when you guys are covering it. It was like them switching from the viewpoint of the white guy, and then just kind of having it as an omniscient one. You screw it up, because when you follow his viewpoint, then you learn along with him.
Yeah, exactly. And he wasn't like, they made him way stupider than he was in the book too. It was like, oh my god, this is just a character. I hate reading the book sometimes.
They changed the ending a bit so that they could, I think, salvage a season 2. They could make it more like, because he does some pretty awful stuff at the end of the book to the other captured guy. I think they bury him up to the neck, and like he dies over 3 days. It's a big thing, and in the show, that none of that is happening. And so I think it's just to get season 2 going and have him not be that cutthroat of a character, which is what he was.
Yeah.
And it's such a visually interesting, like it could have been such a visually interesting show, because like the book is on this completely different planet, and there were so many opportunities for like action set pieces that happen. Like there's these like, I think they're like sentient robots that like patrol this city that they're going to recover this artifact. And it would have been so cool to see all that. And then like the inside the Martian spaceship and the way they describe it, it's so different. The ergonomics are so different because like the species of Martians are so different from humans. So there would have been so many cool opportunities to explore all that stuff and actually see it visually, because they did it. I mean, the visuals of season 1 are amazing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it looks so good. It's so rich and layered and textured. The sets are spectacular. So they could have done all that, but you know, it was the time. I mean, that was the peak woke. They all had to fight Trump and blah, whatever. And it's just like, this is, you know, it was another victim to all that shit. And I'm sure the ratings were atrocious because it never came back.
Oh, Bear season 4 is out today.
Oh,
okay.
No.
Oh my gosh! I'm like, this is the show. Like, this show could almost go on this list.
The Bear.
Yeah, almost. I said almost. And
It
my
may.
reasoning behind that is that I really like the idea of having, we're doing a drama series where there's only like 30-minute episodes because it's really intense and we're like, if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about, the constant verbal arguments and stuff like that. And that's
why I don't watch it, because of all my years in the restaurant industry. I'm like, I don't need PTSD. I don't need to.
Yeah, I totally feel like there's some things I don't want to watch. Like,
no, thanks.
But yeah, and then you get to try to like actually expand the story, and I think the format doesn't really work with it. And I also don't think like, where do they go? Like, it's like they've kind of like lost the plot, so to say.
We got Gemma's in the house. Gemma Lama, thanks for coming, Gemma and Deeple.
Gemma Lama.
Deeple 101. What is up?
Deeple.
Just Okay, so this is anyone else what went wrong with that? Our Altered Carbon season 2?
Just everything. Such an egregious mess.
I didn't even watch it.
It's very existence.
There's going to be a lot of season 2s on this list if we're doing modern stuff.
Yeah, it's true. They bait and switch so hard. Like Umbrella Academy.
God.
Fantastic. 1 and 2 is just like, what the hell are you?
And then you realize that there were 4 seasons to that show.
Yeah. It was season 2 like wasn't a mess, but it was muddled because they forced in this like,
it was preaching hard.
Yeah, and it felt like it was like they added it after they wrote the season, so it like clashed. It didn't fit flow to it whatsoever. That was one of the first things I ever covered on YouTube was the second season of that show, and I just remember being like, because I really liked season 1 and I wanted to like reappreciate it, and there was still cool stuff, but then there was like this just insertion of like preaching bullshit where you're like, what is this here for?
Well, and then 3 and 4. I mean, I didn't even watch 4. After 3, I was like, I'm out. I've had enough of this. Bye.
I was out after 2. I was like, all right, this is only going to get worse.
Yeah.
And then that was when Ellen Page became Elliot Page, and you're like, all right, I mean, where's this going? Yeah.
The trash.
Mm-hmm.
I got so. Do you have one you want to toss out there, then, Matt?
Yes, I do. And this one I think is kind of like a sleeper because it's kind of an anthology show, but True Detective.
Yeah.
That's season 2, boy. Wasn't that just prime?
I mean,
you didn't like Zach's Hollywood debut.
I know. I was like that. I was gonna say, when we saw Zach's walk in on season 2, we knew the show was going to hell.
What do you?
I ruined it.
Well, I don't get it.
Like
Zach looks dead ass like Colin Farrell in season 2.
In season 2, like he just, especially not this picture, but like in the very first episode, because it's kind of a flashback. He comes in and his hair's buzz cut, and he's getting his LAPD officer outfit, and he's like his shoulders are like really big and stuff. He totally looks like Zach's. I straight up took a picture of it and sent it to Zach's at one point.
It was staggeringly bad because I mean that season 1, I remember that was like my first like year or so like living in like LA or like the right before I had moved to like into the city, and like season 1 was this thing that like everyone was talking about. It was so unbelievable.
Oh man, it was magnificent.
It was magnificent. I remember, so when season 2 comes out, I had a watch party, or I didn't, but my friend had a watch party, and I went over there, and like we're all psyched, and we're watching it like, what the fuck? Like, we were laughing at it. Like, it was shocking, like how everyone was trying so hard to have those moments, and you're like, what is this shit? This is horrible.
It's like somebody described season 1 to them.
Yeah,
but the person describing it had heard it from another friend, and so they're just trying to copy whatever they got.
TV radio explaining what was cool about
exactly,
it.
Yeah.
And then they tried. And I remember like even like, and I like Vince Vaughn, but I remember like I was like, oh my God, this performance is horrible. And there was just so much about it. We're just like looking at each other, like, not understanding how this is possible. Same writer, and just wow, what a pile of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, did they suffer a head wound or something? A blunt force trauma?
Well, I think when the guy wrote it, Palazzo, I think his name is, what he said is that he
Enrico
felt
Palazzo?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think that's his name. I can't think about it, but he said that like he was so fed up with not getting anything made that he just poured every single thing he ever wanted to do into a single show in the True Detective and just wrote all these ideas and just made it like really went for broke on like, you know, the whole thing with like the government conspiracy and like the local tied in with like powerful people and all that. He just did it all. He didn't give a shit. So I think once that was a huge hit, he's like, oh fuck, I got to do that again.
Yeah.
So he did not. He failed.
I will say that season 2 though did have this scene which I thought was amazing parenting, and like if he's a role model for all parents, and who wouldn't love to do this? Like this is
I've seen this. Oh my goodness.
This
Hold
is
on.
based as fuck. Yes. Let's go, Mo. Mo, did you watch this season?
I didn't watch many of the seasons, but I've seen this, and it just as a parent, and I'm like,
you've never seen season 1 of True Detective?
I no. I'm sorry.
Oh, you should fix that.
I would, recommend it, man.
I've heard it's the best anything ever as far as acting.
And it's like even with that, you're still gonna agree. You know what I mean? You're still gonna be like, "There's no way it can live up to that hype." It's gonna exceed the hype. It's crazy.
Yeah, it'll surprise you. It may not be the greatest thing ever, but it will be great in a way that you don't expect.
It's so fucking good.
Draconis, that's true. They could. There's no way they could top that, and they're talking about bringing them back or something. I don't know how that would work.
Don't bother.
Yeah, I don't think they should do it. I think they just leave it.
Don't ruin it. Just leave it.
I tried to watch
do a Super Bowl
3.
commercial. Woody Harrelson and and like the like the chemistry was still there. Like it was still like a really funny commercial.
I think they're related. I think they're like brothers or something. Like they found out later in life that they're actually brothers.
Newsflash: if you have an accent like that, you're probably related. And I'm saying that because I'm progeny from people from West Virginia and Nebraska. So
you can say it.
You know.
All right, this is amazing parenting. Let's go.
What did you have to talk to my son about?
Relax, it's nothing. Maybe I just want to ask him about some stolen property. Look, bud, you want to call him out and maybe we can take care of this, right here. You don't even have to tell the missus.
Yeah, hold on.
Great.
Hey, son.
Fuck, this is so good. Like, this is what you would want. This is the best way to deal with a bully ever.
Wait, okay. Before you do the rest of this, sorry.
Yeah.
Is this the one where he calls it? He has like a chubby son. He's
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Quit being a pussy.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
I've
tells
never said that
he's
to
not
my
being
son.
a pussy, but then he goes and takes care of him on his own. And the kid is a pussy for sure. What's up, Joe or Jacob?
That's what dads do. They're like,
right,
don't worry about it. You got it. And then you go up to the other dad and you're like, anyways, go ahead, please.
Yeah.
This man's with the police. He says he has something to ask you.
You like to bully kids? Ass, pen.
Hold on, what is this?
You 12 years old and you're already evil as fuck.
Hey, you can't talk.
Yes.
You're gonna run
It's his parenting, boys. This is what it's like.
Look, that kid would not be such an ass if that dad did a better job. So you got to knock that dad out.
Right.
Yep.
I agree.
Knuckles might have been a bit extreme. That's a felony.
Look, it's all about efficiency. We're just here. We're just bang, sit down.
Okay, first of all, I've been on Amazon before. They're called paperweights. Okay.
Yeah.
Not here in Texas, they're not.
Yeah. Season 1 had some of the best boobs of any show for
Yeah,
sure.
seriously.
Oh yeah, no, that was great. There were some real smoke shows in that one.
Oh yeah.
I got off easy. That's right.
You gonna run out on your dad? Take a look. Hey, he's doing this for you.
Broken claw.
Stop. How about that cut you off, kid? Seeing people in pain. If you ever bully or hurt anybody again, I'll come back and butt fuck your father with your mom's headless corpse on this goddamn lawn.
That's a pretty good line.
I mean, I haven't used that line specifically, but the sentiment has been there when I've had conversations with other parents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't this who's the girl in this? Is it Kate Mara or?
Yeah.
Oh, that annoying redhead chick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a whole scene with she's talking about how much she loves cock, which was pretty cool. That was a pretty good scene.
So Jake is absolutely correct. So the majority of my background in my makeup is Irish. There's a thing that my wife likes to call shaky angry. There's a certain point to where all of your civilized behavior and anything goes right out the window. It's when you start shaking and you're like, okay, I can no longer hold it. That's
I get really quiet, might get a little like teary eyed almost, and shake a bit, and it's like you might want to start running.
Yeah.
It's my nostrils start flaring and my whites of my eyes get quite large, and my wife knows it's like, okay, this is going to go somewhere really bad. The last time it was Skyfall of all movies. I should have been mad at the person who directed it, but there was an old guy that kept commenting during the entire movie, and I'm like, sir, and he wasn't paying attention to me, and I went, sir, like this, and I was shaking, and I reached over my wife to point at him, and my wife went, please don't. Like, I was about ready to grab this guy's suspenders and hang him with him. This old fat fuck. I was about ready to give him a lesson, but
I mean, I did inform a movie theater that if they didn't stop clapping, the next sound of clapping they'd hear would be my balls on their forehead.
Well.
And that is quite a threat when you're an older man. All right, that's
yeah. It was like, and I'm 6'5", and you know, was probably about 220 at the time. And the guy behind me was like, "Dude, did you just say you're gonna put your balls on their forehead?" Yes. And he was like, "That's great." Like, he was sick of it too.
Can I throw out one that's like maybe more obscure, but it kind of ruined the show for me? Was the last episode of the first season of Barry.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, like once he kills the cop, you're like, oh, okay, you're a bad guy now. Like you can't, when you're killing hitmen and stuff like that, and you had all this kind of PTSD from the war, you're like, okay, like you're still a redeemable character, but that girl was just doing her job, and you killed her in cold blood to protect yourself. It's like, okay, well, you're now I can never find you redeeming again. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's it for me.
Defund the police, though, right?
What's that?
Defund the police, though, right?
Not me, brother. But you know what I mean? It was just kind of like, that's it now. Like I can't invest in this show ever again. And I loved it. I thought it was so good.
Yeah, I never watched it, but I had plenty of friends that were like, dude, you got to watch it. And then they would come back. I think it was maybe season 2 or 3. And they're like, okay, you don't need to watch this. This is shit. And
I read the pilot like when I was an actor still, and it was the best pilot I've ever read. Like I sat in the back of this catering gig and just read it on my phone, and I was so compelled by it. It was spectacular. It was so unique and so much fun and so different. We performed a few scenes in my acting class, and then it didn't go anywhere for 2 years, and it finally came out, and I was like, yes, and I loved it. And then just when that happens, you're like, oh well, no, I mean, you're not a hero anymore.
Yeah,
there's no coming back from that.
I was gonna say the wheels fell off on Barry. I'm not sure I agree that it was the last episode of season 1, but the wheels certainly fell off on it.
Yeah, I heard that. I mean, I heard it gets weird, but I just don't know where you go from there with the character. It's like, how can I follow him now and root for him? I can't now.
Well, speaking of things you can't go anywhere with, I watched the first half of season 1 of Barry. I liked it, but I just don't know why I didn't go back to it, but I didn't. But yeah, that's a tough one to get past if you're gonna kill the cop for no reason.
I mean, not for no reason. It was to protect yourself, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, she's a good person, and you just killed a good person for your own self-interest. It's like that. You're not good.
No. We got Gadfly here now, but also I want to do this one here. We have Steve in the chat. I think he'll appreciate this. I know, obviously, Lady B and Alex in this page too. So this is the opening of season 1 of Wheel of Time. And this was the worst. This killed the show, I think.
The first seconds ruined it.
Yes.
Yeah.
8 seconds. It lasted 8 seconds.
I'm not joking. This killed the show. It took me 3 tries to get through this, to watch the rest of the episode. It was so aggravating.
The world is broken. Many, many years ago, men who were born with great power believed they could cage darkness itself. The arrogance.
You guys remember? Is this PTSD coming back?
I'm getting PTSD.
That was straight up Greta Thunberg. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
The arrogance.
How dare you? I know it is. It's so bad.
I've never seen this before. I all I know is it's horrible, but so even like if I just started right there, I'd be kind of like, all right, I mean, we'll see where she's going with this. I don't know. Like, it sounds bad when you say men and then arrogance and like the same line.
Oh, it only gets worse.
Where's this gonna go? But so far, I wouldn't be out. I'd be like, all right, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I made maybe 10 minutes of the first episode, and it was like, I don't know what the hell this is, but it's not Wheel of Time. Bye.
Yeah.
That's right. Alex, you want to rip into it for a second? Tell us why this wrecked the show.
Okay, so from a lore perspective,
Sorry, Alex looks like he's commenting as like a witness in a mob doc.
The hotel room has super shitty lighting by the desk.
We tried to get his captors to give better lighting, but we paid the ransom. We're just not getting it.
No, unfortunately, I'm in Memphis right now, so no, I can't even leave the hotel room.
God.
I'm surprised you don't have a holes in your window.
Right, I'm staying at the one good hotel in the city, I think. But no, so from a lore perspective, this is like totally wrong. So imagine like in like Lord of the Rings, like the first line of the show is, "And the hobbits made this wildly powerful ring that would destroy the world." Like that is the equivalent of this line.
That wasn't the premise for Rings of Power.
It might have been. But it does not get better at all. Like just the entire run of the show is just shitting on men.
Okay, but is that like what she's saying? That's something that's like supposed to be like a reveal later, or like I like what is she referring to?
So in the books, there's the 3,000 years before the main story kicks off. The dorky scientists accidentally unleashed the devil.
And it was a woman too. So technically, it's the arrogance of women that did it.
But it's actually
for this show.
It's pretty funny. It's actually almost a trans metaphor. But then a bunch of so they had to get all the people together, the men and the women, to go try and shut it down. But the women refused to go. Basically, just said, "No, this is too dangerous. It won't work. Whatever." So the men went and sealed the devil back in his cage, basically. But as a sort of memento from their bravery, they all went crazy.
Doesn't sound very arrogant. It wasn't pretty selfless.
Steal, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But it doesn't sound arrogant at all. It sounds like extraordinarily heroic, brave, and selfless.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was actually the women that didn't want to work with them.
Complexes. So. That was how they went crazy. Then that would be arrogant, you know.
What an awful misreading of the text if that's how you're starting the show and that's the story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right.
That'd be like these guys marched into Germany to stop Hitler. The arrogance.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Thank you, Crab Feeder. Got to get you the script before we go. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
$20. Can't say, but I love you guys. Love you, Crab Feeder.
How much money do you send them on a monthly basis?
I send my children $750 a month.
$55. And
you guys are full of crack, bro. My fucking comic icing. I don't know, man. This is not the way it works, man. You guys be on fucking crack.
Man, when did Copa stream with Eric July? I don't remember that happening.
Wheel of Fish. Yeah. So, yes, it's a good example. Except for it's even like it gets worse. So let's play a bit more because they wreck all of the lore, the magic system, everything about this story that people have read these books. They multiple times. People love this series, and they in the first 30 seconds they fucking wreck all of it.
That's crazy. That's speed running it.
It is, and I couldn't believe it. Like I couldn't believe that they did this. I should have.
Yeah, I thought it was just like poor dialogue or something at first, and then they kept going. I was like, oh no, they mean this. Bye.
You got to give them credit for not telegraphing or baiting and switch. They're like, no, we're ruining this.
Oh yeah,
we're
straight up,
it, and we're gonna attack the fans right out the gate. Like, no mask, no double meaning. All right, I'll give
when they failed, the seas boiled, mountains were swallowed up, cities burned, and the women of the Aes Sedai were left to pick up the pieces. These women remembered one thing above all else: the man who brought the breaking of the world. And him they named Dragon.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's based that the women had to clean up after the men. That was all right. That's a good part of that.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like those media literacy people. You know, like, you don't get that the whole thing's actually about feminism or queer people or whatever. Like they insert these interpretations on top where it does not belong.
Wait, is this part of the 48% of queer media that got canceled because they killed us? All right, let's go.
Preach. Yeah, women most affected, of course. Yes,
but Matt, it's funny you say that because that legitimately is in many ways like the theme of the book. Is like the genders have to work together or terrible things happen.
Yep.
And so, but it's also pretty based in the sense that it's like, oh no, women actually do these sets of bad things if you leave them alone.
Wow. Based.
Yeah. And it's like it's very, very based. And so of course Hollywood looked at that and said, oh, well, this is clearly women empowerment.
Yeah, it's like missed the whole thing of it.
When you've got an entire philosophy of no accountability, then yeah, that would make sense from their lens. Let me ask you: is the author of these books still alive?
No,
he is not. So he actually he died, and Brandon Sanderson finished the last 3 books of the series.
Is this the one? Is this the one where he left it to his wife? He left his wife, and his wife got to pick the person to pick up the mantle, and basically, okay,
yeah.
Which that's awesome. That's a great story in and of itself. But
yeah,
it's a shame that they ruined it. I was not familiar with this story, but you can just tell by the passion of people like Shad Brooks and people that have loved the Wheel of Time. It makes me sad when you see people just cry out in agony for shit like this, stuff that's co-opted by idiots that don't know what they're doing. So
and
they
it's
can get
different than like bad adaptations in the past. Like I don't like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie, but I don't think it was done maliciously. I think they just like, in fact, Douglas Adams co-wrote the screenplay, but I think they were just writing it more cinematically and they did kind of miss the point, but it wasn't done with malice. Whereas I think like all these bad adaptations are specifically done to warp the source material, which is so much more evil.
Yeah.
Zax is baiting me. All right. I'm at
yes,
work.
I am.
You're baiting me.
Oh my God,
okay?
Steve.
Oh, yeah.
So
Steve.
you don't, but you don't know how much you nailed it on the head there. Rafe Judkins, the showrunner of The Wheel of Time, has many, many times gone out of his way to say he's writing he wants a queer lead, even though there is no queer lead. He'll make characters gay if we complain about how characters aren't how they act.
Yeah, he said this on Twitter.
It's completely malicious intent. They don't care anything about the source material. It's ridiculous.
Crazy. That's insane. That's so like talk about the arrogance.
Yeah.
Exactly. Was that about you? Yeah.
Well, I think it goes kind of into a larger problem with Hollywood and some businesses outside of that as well. The idea that fandoms, all you have to do is put label on thing and they must consume. Right. That's why they always use the word consumer. But we have better ideas, but we own the rights to Wheel of Time. So if we just put Wheel of Time label on it, then all the fans have to show up. And when they don't, that's because racism.
It's right, exactly, or sexism, or we're all bigots because we don't see the queer undertones in the text, and it's like there are no queer undertones in the text. So what are you talking about? Oh, I'm a bigot, right? It's exactly
that's right.
It's completely gaslighting, And then, like the biggest thing right now is this whole campaign these crazy people are running, and it's like embarrassing to almost be the brand is so hurt right now because they're like the ones out in front, and they're all crazy. They say they love this shit, and they're defending this piece of crap. It's wild.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is the idea of storytelling has changed to we need to tell the people who think wrong to do a certain thing, and we need to affirm those who agree with us. And affirmation is the laziest form of storytelling you can possibly do. Well, look, I feel seen. Funny. I have a mirror. I don't need to feel seen in the movie theater.
But it's interesting. Like I've written things in the past. Like I wrote like a television pilot with a friend of mine, and I remember like it was almost more of like an exercise of self-reflection on my own points of view than it was about like inserting them in there. Like I felt dirty if I like would lazily throw my own point of view in there. Like I just feel gross.
It's a cheat. Right, because then I can make the world work out my thing.
So self-important though. It's just kind of like I feel like the gift of writing something is like all you get back from it about what you learn about yourself and more nuanced perspective and seeing things from different people's point of view. And for you to just be like none of that, like just my lecture and zero personal growth through writing a 10-episode television shows, like that's mind-bogglingly self-important.
Yeah, but that's the point. I mean, it's not they believe that. I mean, again, there's a very religious kind of thinking that goes on with all these people that their belief in their virtue and that they're doing the right thing. History will agree with me. Oh boy, no bad things have ever been done when you invoke history to justify your actions. But if you take that away, and their opinions are have to operate on the same plane as those who disagree with them, they lose the people lose their value and their virtue. Why am I important? Why do I have meaning? It just all of their personality, all of their value would dry up and blow away, and they would rather go to war with reality than have that happen.
That's really well put. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is. Go to war with reality.
It's like
a war on God. It's almost like a war on God.
The defender of this stuff has basically come right out and said, "Well, yeah, it's not really the Wheel of Time, but it's what we have. If they don't show this, then we're probably never going to have another show in our lifetime. So we might as well have this."
Yeah, you just summed up every Star Wars theory show that I've seen like in the last 5 years. It's essentially it's slop, but it's Star Wars, and if we don't consume Star Wars, then how will we get good?
Exactly. Yeah, it's like here's a plate of shit, eat it and be happy. It's like what?
Yeah, it's a plate of shit. It could be a steak at some point down the road.
Yeah.
At least it's
I know, right?
Food.
Yeah.
But once you get used to it, it doesn't smell as bad.
And I mean, if we don't eat the shit, they'll stop serving us. Oh, okay, I'm good with that. Can I just skip the shit servings?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So there was another incredibly wild thing about this show that I don't think a lot of people realize, in that the showrunner cast his boyfriend in this show as a made-up character, turned this made-up character into what was basically a main character, and then had like half of this character's scenes be having sex with another guy and a girl.
What?
Yeah, there's a polycule.
Dude legitimately had a cuck fetish and cast his boyfriend in a role in which the boyfriend was having sex with other people. And like
that's insane.
This isn't even anything remotely close to the book. He made this up fully out of whole cloth. Amazon gave this man $150 million and he spent it on his own personal fetish. It is wild.
He's not even exaggerating. It's worse because then he even when he's not like talking about threesomes with his girlfriend and his boyfriend, he's getting lines stolen from characters that actually people love, and they're giving them storylines to them, and so he can get more screen time. And I know it's something Will loves to bring up. They kill more black men and women than any other type in the show. So he's also
Okay, so there is that one positive, but I mean, other than that, it's pretty bad. Yeah.
It's funny though
There's always a
because
silver lining.
the people who liked the show get so mad about it. It's like, oh, they keep killing off all the black and gay characters. I'm like, guys, there's only black and gay characters. Like,
who else are they going to kill? There's a lot of metaphorical killing because we can't kill anybody else.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
This will give you an indication as to why, like, so this is the showrunner. And this is Rafe.
Hey, remember 70%.
He was the guy who he's best known for being on Survivor and losing, and getting skinny in the process. Yeah, he was on the show Survivor as a contestant.
So it's actually
but he also did. Sorry, go ahead.
This week actually should just be named after Rafe Judkins because he is the king of like making good stuff bad. Like, I don't know if anybody watched Chuck, but like through the first 3 seasons, Chuck was all right. And then they put this guy in charge, and seasons 4 and 5 of Chuck became terrible. Like, and that's this guy.
I didn't watch those. Yeah.
Is he related to Damon Lindelof in some way?
He's a former. Is he a former Mormon?
No, I think he just
he's former Mormon.
Is he gay?
Yes, he's gay.
If you're Mormon, gay, you can be a gay Mormon.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's why he left.
This guy.
And then he's a bit of a loser. Now here you go. So this is his boyfriend who we cast in the roles, and like this is why you have to cast him in roles because he's a good looking dude, and so you're gonna keep him around. Then you're gonna have to give him some bones every once in a while. And if you let him go into your site for too long, he's banging other dudes for sure. So you've got to.
Well, he's banging other dudes in your site because you are casting him to do that. I mean,
that's your choice.
Well,
so
hold on, Zach. Hold on, though. But this guy, look, he may be decent looking, or he's good looking, fine. But he's a fucking idiot, right? So, because this is the guy that suggested everybody cancel their Amazon Prime accounts before the show comes out, and then to show Amazon how much people love it, to re-up their subscription when it comes out and watch Wheel of Time first, because that'll prove how much the Wheel of Time, you're telling the network that shows your show you're telling everybody to cancel their accounts. That I'm sure they love that. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
He's cupping nuts in that photo. You can see it.
Yep.
Not his own.
What a piece
Not
of
his
shit.
own. No, he's imagining someone's there.
Well, the guy's a pathological liar too. Like he just like makes up percentage. What was it? 70% of book readers love the show. It's like, dude, you're just lying.
Is it just 70% of people who have read a book?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Well, the number's still way too big, but yeah, maybe.
Or have seen one, been near one, maybe ate one.
Maybe 70% of people who don't know what a book is, like, because it needs to be a smaller number.
Yeah.
He did.
I'm trying to think of like what the comparison would be as far as like benching Rand. It would be like in Harry Potter if you made Professor McGonagall the main character. Like,
yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Making Moraine the main character, I think that's
or like
pretty...
Gandalf or something.
Yeah.
So what he did too is we looked into it at one point, and that's how I met you guys was because this show was so bad. So that worked out great. But otherwise, like what happened was he put his boyfriend. He had to work the story around having his boyfriend be in every episode, even though because his character is not from the books at all. He's made up. And so how do you bend the story to make sure that he's in every episode, at least a little bit, right? So he can stay with you traveling and going on vacation and shit, which they did do. And he bragged about it on Instagram. Oh, I'm here with my man in Morocco. Yeah, it's staycation. Lots of vacations. But I want to make Steve watch this a little bit more because he really loves this part of the show.
Now, this man has been born again. We don't know where or to whom. If he was reborn as a girl or a boy. The only thing we
So if you don't know, the dragon has to be a man. It's always a man.
Well, but again, these are women. They don't know because this is their logic. I was born. It could be a woman, even though it says it's a man.
That's
crazy. Like Will you got to remember, right? Will just told you why. The reason the reason it's scary that it's a man is because men that can channel are crazy.
Yeah, they go crazy.
The next most powerful godlike person that's going to be born with this power is going to be go crazy.
Right.
So that threat doesn't exist if it's a woman because the women don't go crazy.
No. Hold up. Women are crazy naturally. They don't go crazy. They are.
True enough. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But
So she's actually right. It could be a man or a woman.
So we can't have crazy men and women. That's insane.
Yeah.
What also makes this funny is her entire life's mission up to this point. Like she spent 20 years on this, is trying to find, the Jesus who's going to go crazy and could potentially blow up the world. That's the only thing she's been doing for 20 years.
Why wouldn't he just cast his boyfriend as that guy?
I think too old, but also
dude, fuck you. Don't suggest that shit.
But I'm just saying, if you're gonna force this guy into the show, make it make sense.
Make him the main character.
The good news is we can suggest whatever we want. This show is canceled.
I'm just like shocked by the carpet bombing of awful that the first 43 seconds has accomplished. Like that's crazy.
There's more.
But wait, there's more.
There's one more key change.
But wait, there's
more. Let's go.
Anything we know for certain is that this child is coming of age now, and we must find them.
Them.
Before the dark does.
That's all I got for it. But
oh my god,
they've also said that men made the source evil, like they tainted. It's all fucked up. So the systems of magic, they fucked it up.
Yeah.
No, the word Zax is dirty.
Dirty. Okay.
Dirty.
They made it dirty. Men made magic dirty. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah. So that's that is that. And Steve was a big part of getting that show canceled. So Steve, take a bow for real.
My fault, right? I mean,
yes.
Hey, don't forget, I did put I streamed last night, and just because the crazies get irritated whenever I put up a petition that's opposite of their stupid petition. So I put up the Balefire Wheel of Time petition to get to demand that Amazon do a Willow to Amazon.
Memory hole the whole thing.
from just memory hole it and remove it from the server so it's never there again. It's got 32 signatures. I mean, it's close to save Wheel of Time movement that they're spending $32,000 on to fly banners over Culver City that nobody can see. Yeah, this is happening. They've raised $32,000 to try and save the show that has been officially canceled.
Yeah, well, that's what they should have done. They should have sponsored a riot. Get some branding on the rioters. Come on.
That's right.
Give them some signs. Well, they're in Australia, a car with a billboard on it that drives around in circles. So they could have just done that in LA. That would have worked. I think probably better. Just hand out signs. They don't care. Just give them $10.
Does a car drive in circles counterclockwise?
Well, isn't that always counterclockwise? It's Australia.
You imagine just being an executive right now in Hollywood, and it's just you can't make anything woke because it doesn't sell, but you can't say that you're not going to make anything woke because everyone will cut your throat around you. So we were like, I don't what do we make? I don't know what to do. How do you make anything right now?
Yeah, that's I think like a lot of studios, people who we just get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. I was like, that's not nearly enough.
It's like the Hydra, though. You cut off one head, 10 take its place.
Yeah, because again, I mean, if you have a bad, everybody that's worked at a company, you have a bad manager, they hire worse employees, and it just kind of cascades, right? If you have a really good manager, they look for good employees because they're not intimidated and they're not trying to keep their job just by surrounding themselves by lessers. But look at studios, and you have an incompetent person at the top. Imagine how much incompetence accumulates by the time you get down to the set designers or the marketing people, or God help you, HR.
But like when I was in LA, like it was like being like kind of conservative was like being like gay in the 50s. Like you didn't say it.
Yeah.
You had to wait until you're real comfortable with someone. You kind of a wink and a nod and you sort of push it a little bit. But like it was so contentious out there with like the hive mind that like if you like propped your head up even a little bit as like being slightly different, like they went for it immediately. So it's like I don't even know, like the culture is so ubiquitous out there. It's like, and they're all, rioting and losing their minds. Like I don't know how you could possibly be like, hey, we're just going to make stories now. We're going to stop with your gay ass.
Yeah. You really have to have the shareholders who apparently are just happy to have their money burnt. They need to go in. You have to bring in somebody who's just going to use a flamethrower to clean things out, right?
Yeah, and they're just going to be like, we don't care what you think anymore.
Yeah. And by the way, 90% of this department ceases to exist. Bye, get out.
Yeah, but they're bloated and they're filled. All the ranks are full with people that think all this stuff, or at least affirm it by just like repeating it over and over.
Yeah.
I can't imagine trying to make anything.
This show
Speaking of the,
implied for me, these two were going to hook up on the show.
I think they closet did. I think they had a bad experience and then they shunned each other. I think.
That kind of looks like Ice Cube's son. You know that guy?
It is.
Is it?
No, it's not really. No. He's definitely not as good an actor. He has a problem with his mouth open. He can't keep his mouth shut. He mouth breathes.
Yeah.
His mouth is hanging open the whole time.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
The Inception.
Yeah.
So
thank you, dude.
Matt, you mentioned the closeted thing, like the 1950s. There's an episode of Silicon Valley like that
really?
Is absolutely incredible, and everyone in Hollywood lost their shit about it because the main character finds out that one of his guys is a Christian, and he accidentally makes that public, and just it causes all sorts of problems. It made me laugh when you thought about that.
It's what it was like. It was like, you keep this on the QT, you let no one know because it could be the end of you. Like it's like it was just like that.
Yeah. It's like being a Satanist in the Vatican.
Yeah. It is. I mean, that's a perfect analogy because it's like they take it, like you said, like a religion. It's like a church to them, and you're a heretic.
Yep. And
this
burn
is
them.
for Joe. I gotta play a clip. You guys will love this one. This is for True Detective. And this is a great scene from season 4. One of the best.
Oh God, no! Oh Lord!
No! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! No! Wait!
Wow! God damn it! I had memory hold that whole season, man. So what are you doing?
Nope. I brought it back for you, Steve. You're welcome.
You couldn't do the Alexander Daddario scene. Come on, man.
I was gonna say, could you imagine trying to two scenes have never more perfectly described the fall off of a television show than going from topless Alexandra Daddario to mostly fully clothed Jodie Foster
in her late 60s, or however old she is.
Jodie Foster too, she's totally trying to be a dude in that whole episode or that whole season.
Isn't that what the whole show is like? Yeah, that's all these chicks are so competent and they're so badass and so cool.
You see that, and it's going to be it's like a week before I'm going to have an erection again, just because
it's Doctor Who.
It's the anti-sex scene.
Yeah. It's Doctor.
Yeah, I watched some of season 3 of that show, and people say that one's pretty good. And I got about halfway through, and it wasn't bad. I was just bored. I was like, I don't care who killed who, whatever.
Welcome, Anthony. Thanks for coming, dude. Lady B, you got one you want to talk about?
You know what? This is my victory lap one that I could look back and it's all saw the bad on the first episode, and I'm gonna talk about House of the Dragon, or Hot D as I like to call it. And
Hot D.
You know what got me where I'm like, this is just gonna suck asses in the first episode, where they go into this extended birth and jousting scene.
Oh shit, yeah.
And you're just like, oh my god, and they're just laying on with the feminism and the bullshit and everything. And I'm just like, okay, they're doing this to the show, and I didn't really have much hope for it. I mean,
didn't they kind of drop it after that though?
Not really.
Oh god, season 2 is terrible.
Not season 2, but season 1, as I remember, they kind of like they started off with that like a man can never women, blah blah blah, and then they just didn't. They just left it there, and I was like, okay, if it stays there, I don't really care. If that was just oh look, hey, we're woke feminists too, and then they just made a show after that.
They made like Rhaenyra and Alicent like lesbians too.
Oh, did they really?
That was it. It's just like they're sitting under the tree, and she's got like
Rhaenyra's gay, by the way.
Head in her lap, and she's like, I like riding dragons and eating cake. Like, oh my god, shut up.
When the person, I forget if it was the executive producer or the showrunner or somebody, maybe it was the writer of an episode, looked dead into the camera and said that back in the day 50% of births ended in the woman.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, right.
Like, how would there be people?
What
all this antinatalist propaganda too in the show. It's like, oh, we hate babies. Every time there's a baby on screen, it's like screaming, and the women hate their children, and it's like they weren't really like that. I mean, that makes the book interesting, is that they were both like really, like, mama bears, and they were really into protecting their children. So it's like just to sit here and act like this. But
well, I think the problem you have is like the people writing things that they not only know nothing about, but they know no one who knows about it, right? Like you have kids, not
I know, right? Serious.
I remember too. One thing I didn't like about season 1 was they built up like the crab feeder guy.
Yeah,
as like this huge villain, and then they just like wipe him out in like an instant. You're like, what? That wasn't satisfying at all.
That wasn't cool.
Oh man, I disagree. Damon going into that Damon just finally says, "Fuck it, we're doing it."
Cool. It was cool, but it was too quick. There wasn't like an epic battle or anything. It was just like, he got it. You're like, oh, okay. Because he was a cool villain. He fed people to crabs. It's so dark. You're like, oh, this guy's
right? And then
monster.
you can show how badass Damon is. Like, Book Damon is so cool. I love Book Damon, but not Show Damon. He's such a dumbass in the show. Like, wow. But one of the things that I think this show had, the problem the show has that's really common in like a bunch of other kind of like progressive shows, is that I call it the Rhaenyra problem, because it's really, her character really just demonstrates this really well. And what that is like when you have a female character that needs to be a girl boss while simultaneously being a victim, and it just leads to these like sort of conflicts of motivation. Like, you can't say, hey, like, I am going to take charge and control of something, and also say like, no, I'm also a victim. So like it doesn't work because it's two conflicting things. Like, I look and see like, okay, Cersei, like, show Cersei is way different than book Cersei, but at least in the show Cersei, she is like, okay, I am a girl boss. I am doing things. I am a proactive character, not a reactive character. And it doesn't work when you have the victim mentality and you're the reactive character and you're not doing anything proactive. And then we all saw how bad like season 2 got, and it was like, oh my gosh.
I mean, I think that the writers absolutely operate with that cognitive dissonance that I should be in charge, but also I should never be responsible for anything because I'm being oppressed or whatever. So yeah, I mean, they're writing what they know.
Yeah, it was like, okay, you're the princess. Your father has like said you're going to rule. He said you are my heir. He has decreed that you can marry whoever you want. And it's like, what more do you want? And she's like still mad because, okay, like, I have a baby brother now or something like that. It's so stupid. Why are you mad? It's like, it's more reflects poorly on her because she had the upper hand in here and she could have like done something with it in the show. But in the books, she is just a spoiled brat and she's just doesn't take advantage of it. She's not really good at playing the political game. That's why in the book she needs Daemon later on. But we don't get that in the show because Daemon is like toxic male kind of thing, and he's very like up and down. You have like some cool moments with Daemon, like at the joust, like he's the crab feeder. Yeah,
pretty funny because like before Trump, like Hollywood actually was able to examine their own ideas like fairly well. Like there's this show written by like this like feminist chick or whatever called Unreal, and it's about like supposed to be about like the Bachelor. Like she worked on The Bachelor, then like wrote a show about it, and she like cast herself as like the producer. Or she cast someone as but she wrote like the main character being herself as like being a producer on this show. And I had to watch it because it was a scene we were doing in an acting class, so I had to like, you know, check out the show and like get the tone and all that. And when I like started it, it's like the main character has this shirt. It says, "This is what a feminist looks like," right? And then she spends the whole season just destroying these women's lives for the sake of the show. And you're like, wow, that's actually like pensive, like that's thoughtful. It's like, yeah, you can say these things, but you know, when you're in your actual actions, you're not really living up to your virtues and your values. You're not walking through them. Like it was sort of like an intelligent study and question. They fucked it up in the second season. They made it all gay and the girl bossy. But for the first season, it was like, that was pretty fucking smart. You know?
Yeah, it's like, I wish they would have done that on this.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra is not a good person. She's very vindictive and childish. She's definitely the spoiled, entitled woman that you get. And
I'll say this, I'll stick by this. Like, even Girls season 1, like Lena Dunham's character is like this entitled, spoiled, like, you know, little brat person who thinks she's a victim, but everything is like paid for her. And like, she has this whole scene with her parents where she's just like, do you know how lucky you have it? I could be like a drug addict. Like, the joke is how fucking stupid and entitled and self-centered this bitch is. And like, it's kind of plays out that way until then, once again, then they're like, actually, I am a victim. And then they do all the feminist shit. But like for a season, they like managed to nail it in a way that's like, oh, that's a pensive self-reflection and sort of like, you know, questioning some of what we say out loud and how we actually are. It's like, this is pretty smart.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of when writers, you know, forever have been, you know, they believe a certain thing, but they're more than capable of writing characters that disagree with them and not just make them two-dimensional clowns or whatever.
Yeah.
But the reason that happened is that the hiring practice was hire competent people, not let me see what particular trait you have, and that is more important now. That's again the problem with Hollywood now is you could flush all of the politics away, you would still have a bunch of incompetent people because that's who they hired. Right. And you can't escape that incompetence without absolutely cleaning house with a
and like, look, the talent, there is a lot of talent in Hollywood. Like I experienced it. I read a lot of pilots that went nowhere that were great. You know what I mean? I've met a lot of really talented actors. It's not, there's no it's
not like there's an absence of it. It's just they don't hire it.
They don't hire it. And so it's like eventually those talented people are going to go use their talents somewhere else. They're not just going to like, well, so I'll just sit in the wings for the next 15 years while you guys destroy this industry. They're going to go do something else.
Yep. They're talented. They have other options.
They have other options. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this part.
Yeah. Invented, added.
This was wild. They just pulled that out of their ass for no reason.
Rhaenyra's gay, by the way.
Oh, thank God.
Wait,
I'm gonna be a dad.
What about the queer undertones?
Undertones.
Well, they have to pan the camera down to get those.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, like 20 years ago, it was kind of edgy to throw a gay character in there. Like Omar on The Wire being gay.
Oh my God, I love Omar.
Baller, man.
You know, and like, what's his name on The Sopranos? You know, like, that was, you know, those were kind of edgy choices. Now you're like, oh my God, we fucking get it. You're gay.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's just like, I'm just tired of it. It's like, oh yeah. Well, it's like, I Ironheart somehow ended up on my TV, and I'm like, what the fuck? Look at all this stupid shit that you knew was going to be in it. It's just like,
oh man,
it's so bad. Right. And it's just like
hey, again, I'm not going to have slander against the best unintentional comedy of 2025.
It's
Ironheart
is going to be great, man. That it's not. It's just cringeaholic, man. It's.
I mean, I laughed continuously watching The Acolyte. I assure you, I can laugh watching Ironheart.
Oh well, I watch. Of course, The Acolyte was a comedy, pure and simple. And, you know,
I commend you guys for even like watching that shit. Like, I can't even imagine
it was funny
sitting through that. No, I mean this new thing, like this. I just like, and I see like the creators, you know, the guys who cover this stuff, they're making fun of it and making videos. Like, I couldn't even imagine sitting through it, like to watch it,
she's not to go off track, but she's better than Tony Stark in every way, but she's a thief and a piece of shit. But you know that tracks, right?
Iconic is all I gotta say.
She's an iconic thief and murderer.
Also, there's only one Asian at MIT.
She has committed murder. That also seems to be like a trend in some of these new things. Is it's okay to murder people as long as like, they don't have much screen time yet. It's not it's okay. Your main character can murder people. It's fine.
So I don't know if this is true.
Oh god.
But I've heard that she saved 0 people in that show.
The entire season. So what I've seen, so I watched I don't know how I ended up watching the first 3 episodes just out of pure terror.
That's brutal.
Just it was brutal. There in contrast, like the bear episodes, whether you like them or not, they at least flow and they feel like they're short when they're done. I kept trying to figure out when these episodes were going to end, and they were only 31 minutes. And it's just just what the fuck? But no, she right now has killed or injured more people than she is. She hasn't saved a single person. The whole thing is, I'm the best. I want to be the best. I need money because billionaires can make shit. And, I can't make shit unless I have money. And it's like Tony Stark, the line everybody keeps playing repeatedly over and over again about him making the first suit in the cave, right?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. Oh, and by the way, guys, her suit doesn't need an arc reactor. It's solar and wind powered.
Solar.
Of course it is.
Shut up.
Okay,
I swear to God, there's literally a shot of her suit landing because she made an AI of her best friend that was murdered in a drive-by by mistake, who is flying her suit around
while in South America studying spiders.
She has the solar panels extended as the suit comes down to pick up Riri.
Okay. So I mean, this absolutely refutes your assertion that she hasn't saved anybody. She has saved the planet, sir.
That's right.
Also, she has saved herself, the most important thing.
You're correct.
And she saved Greta from doing it, so she could go save the Palestinians.
Yeah, so she could go deal with the Middle East.
Yeah, she's getting a lot done, dude. I think you're not taking her seriously.
She's fixing the world.
You just refuse to recognize an icon who is iconic.
That is hilariously on the nose to make it.
A self-professed icon.
That's why it's hilarious to watch this stuff, because they think that they are actually, look at my deep message or whatever. And I was like, how many crayons did you eat when you wrote this episode? What is going on?
Like, you could almost even take that. You could even take that concept and make it like a little smarter and just be like, okay, listen, like the arc reactor is genius technology, but it does have a lot of waste that we have to do, blah, blah, blah. So I just made it more efficient. I made it more good for the environment or whatever. You could be annoying like that, but like at least keep it in there. No, it's got solar panels. Okay.
The show starts with her getting kicked out of MIT because she's a genius. So she's 15 at MIT selling projects off because she's the best ever. They catch her. They actually kick her out of MIT, which is like, wow, they actually kicked her out. And then as she's leaving, she steals the suit she made at MIT with MIT stuff. She steals it and tries to fly away, and then is pissed when they turn it off remotely. And she manages to not die falling into Chicago.
So she's the villain.
She's horrible. She's a horrible person. And then the villain is Freckleface from Twister.
Oh, Freckle Jesus?
No.
Damn.
The weird
Jesus.
Mexican guy.
Freckle Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Freckle, yeah. He's walking around town with a cape and hood, and they call him
so fucking
Hood.
cringe.
It's like, dude, you're walking around in that. What are you doing?
Look, there could be a Ren fair. He's going to a Ren fair. It's perfectly reasonable.
It's so bad, man. It's so bad.
It's played off like it's normal or that people don't notice it. But it's the only thing you notice about this guy. He's wearing a fucking hood and a cloak.
He's just walking around. And then there's literally a scene where they kidnap this rich chick. He goes, sign your company over to me now. And she's like, okay. And now they're rich. It's like, what? And they're just walking around spending the money. It's like they would have gone. They can identify you, and like they can say that they signed under duress, and you'd be arrested. Like it's the stupidest shit ever. Oh, the Mexican guy. Spoiler: the one on the right. That's the guy Riri kills. By the way.
He does look like he's cosplaying a Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so dumb.
Lando
Oh my
Calrissian
God.
cosplay is what
Yeah,
that is.
I think he's chaotic neutral as a wizard.
It's
Literally
ridiculous.
everything about this shot looks gay and amateur. Like it looks both.
It's okay. The guy on the right's dead. So one down. Riri's got one murder. She's catching up with Perrin. Will.
I'm glad to hear it. Wow, this looks fucking trash.
Do you
No,
think someone might notice
That is him walking.
So bad.
Fantastic right there.
So the cloak lets him curve bullets and go invisible.
Okay.
What?
I'm not kidding. He can curve bullets and be invisible.
Yeah, this just does not work in real life, in live action. You can't do this. He looks retarded, and everyone would. He's in Chicago.
Yeah,
like
like
nobody
he's so
knows he's a fucking
identifiable.
weirdo.
Wait, Zach, please tell me you have a picture of his team.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd like to see the black teenagers south side of Chicago encounter this guy. I bet.
Well,
they wouldn't
he's a confused cosplayer because he looks like he's an Imperial officer, but he's also wearing his magician's cape. So I don't know. You know, he was at a cosplay convention. Now he has to run to the Ren Fair. He's kind of been mid costume change here. I don't know.
Squiddy brings up a good point. If you're invisible, why do you need to curve bullets? Great point.
Who's shooting?
But no, his team that he personally recruited is a weird little black girl with a nose ring that blows up. That's a pyro and blowed up her husband. So she's good at pyrotechnics. A tech genius transsexual that's trying to be Job from Banshee but does it worse. You got the Mexican knife thrower. Who else?
That's stereotyping. Stop that.
I'm telling you, you got the Mexican knife thrower.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. They fired the tech Mexican because he's too stupid and he wants to be called Rampage. And then, oh God, there's one more I'm forgetting.
Rampage Jackson.
There's the twins. There's the
Wonder Twins.
Twin and the girl twin.
Oh, the tranny twins. Oh my God.
So one's a girl and one's I think a girl that thinks she's a boy, but they are the best fighters on planet Earth. Of course, they're also shorter than everybody else, but they're great at fighting. They're the muscle. Two little girls are the muscle. Of course,
Steve, if we had given you a Mad Libs puzzle to fill out, there would have been fewer random out of place scripters than what you just described.
Paige, yes, that's what I'm saying. Joe from Banshee was how you do it. Joe from Banshee was awesome.
Yeah,
Banshee was
agreed.
Joe from Banshee was how you do that shit. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Now, I given his description of what's going on, I defy you to say that this is a comedy, and it is hilarious because we're just laughing hearing about it.
Dude, none of these people, only the person on the right. The dude on the left is that's the tech genius hacker, of course.
That's a dude.
Yes.
What is that?
The middle is the mom, and the left, I don't know who that is.
That's Riri on the left. On the right is Shea Coulee,
that's not Riri. That's whatever her name is.
Yeah, from Wakanda.
Wakanda forever. Yeah.
Oh, I'll be right back. I gotta do a work thing.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a good photo of the entire group.
There's no good photos.
This looks exactly like a studio that makes video games paid for by the British government that's about to lose $300 million.
The dude on the right looks like he's going to a rave in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with that shirt and the earring thing and the hair?
A rave. It looks like he's about to win a NBA championship with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. The cringe is real.
God. It's amazing this exists. It's like if I was gonna make a sketch about how to make something so woke and stupid, I don't think I could.
That's the thing. They're self-mocking, right? This is the great thing about them is that when they take themselves really seriously, but they have no talent. It's like they go outside and kick their own ass. And you know, if people are going to be ridiculous, it would just be impolite not to ridicule them.
So funny.
Yeah, it's true.
I love how they took the world's worst woke comic in like 2013 or whenever the hell this was written, and we're like, not woke enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, 2013 woke. That's a rounding error. We need to turn that thing to 11.
I was going to say it. 2013, Riri Williams probably voted for Trump. Like,
yeah, just for the lulz. Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, if this came out, like in the 20 teens, like the late 20 teens, you know what I mean? Trump won, like it would be, promoted and praised, and we'd be like doused in press. And now on the other side of it, it's just a big joke.
Yeah. Well, you have a few things. One, the momentum is entirely gone. So a lot of the Kate movies were driven by normies who decided that the new cool fad would be to cosplay as geeks and nerds and take on that culture, right? That died. Unfortunately, the studios haven't got the memo, even though they've been having flop after flop after flop who can't even break like 300-400 million. You're back to superhero movies being genre movies, and you need to budget accordingly. Yep. And you might not want to have this level of retardation in on your thing, but this is Disney Plus, so it's totally disconnected from any actual customer feedback.
Imagine being an actually like talented or insightful person that works at that company, and you just
I wouldn't be working there.
You just watch like disaster after disaster go right through that factory, and you're just like, we're not going to learn, huh? We're not going to make any adjustments. We're dying on this hill forever.
That's when you get incompetent people in charge and you give them enough time, they will either like fire and replace, or the competent people will leave, because at some point you're just like, the hell with this. I'm not hanging around and dealing with this crap.
It's crazy. So like you think there's no one there that gets it. They're all just like, great. No, another banger.
Yeah.
Don't know why these bigots aren't watching.
Well, I mean, they know why. It's because they're Neanderthals, and we need to educate them via the media.
I'd say I haven't been educated hard enough, so you keep educating
me.
Oh,
yeah, that's exactly. I was like, come on, go on. Yeah. That's why I'm praying for the Ray movie. Come on, do it.
Yeah.
I
want to see that ship just go down.
Exactly. I want to see it just light on fire.
Yeah.
Let's move on then. I'll find some stuff about this, but in the meantime, Alex, you got one here. Stranger Things. Season 3.
Yes.
So the theme of this week was one-off episodes that were catastrophically bad.
What's up, kidding?
And that ruined shows going forward. And there might be no better example of this than the Stranger Things episode where Elle goes to the city, meets up with a random group of weirdos who are incredibly annoying that has nothing to do with the main plot, and then comes back and it has no impact at all on anything. Because, first of all, it was an absolutely horrendous episode of a show that actually was, decent. But it also killed the Stranger Things spinoff. So if you've ever wondered why we don't have a second Stranger Things show, it was because this episode was their attempt at it, and it was so universally hated that Netflix had to kill the Stranger Things spinoff.
What was the spinoff supposed to be?
The fuckers that she met with in the city were supposed to have their own show.
Okay. Are you sure it's season 3, not season 2?
I'm pretty sure it was season 3.
I think
season 3 is the one where everything goes off the rails. Season 2 is essentially like a repeat of season 1.
Season 3 is the mall. The Russians in the mall.
Right.
I think.
Trying to think maybe it was season 2.
I think it was. Where she goes all emo and meets that other girl who, like, I think she's number 8 or something like that. She has a number on her as well.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking. Was that season 2?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that one is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was she was supposed to get her own show, and the reception to that one episode was so bad that it scrapped the entire project.
Here it is. The Lost Sister was the episode it was called. And yeah.
So that didn't kill this series. It killed another series they were thinking about making. So it just like killed it, before it was even born.
Yes.
Yeah. So this was they're criminals, right? Kind of. She's gonna go on the road trip. She meets another child that was at the institute who has some kind of abilities, I guess.
Right.
And then she goes full emo mode, and she joins their crew for some job. They're
they're robbing somebody or something.
Yeah. This is also, I think, also them here.
Is it 2 or 3 when they make it to the scientists that have like the remote laboratory?
I think that was 3 because that was in the mall. I think this right here.
Oh
my god!
Yeah, that was almost made me quit watching the show, and so it didn't even just kill a spinoff, but I hated that whole storyline so much. It was not necessary. It took her away from what we liked about her character and the people and the other kids she'd met, like her friends, and to introduce her to almost age her up and then have her go be a criminal with these other criminals. I just didn't get it. It wasn't necessary. And it was so so of the time, I guess, to have her go and meet this other chick who's also very powerful, and we're all going to be very powerful chicks together. But also poor us at the same time. We were victims, and it just didn't work at all for me.
That makes perfect sense, your explanation. I didn't know that about that whole episode. And I don't think I remember it standing out to me as horrible. I just remember standing out to me as like, what the hell is happening? I just remember being confused. And then they never reference it again. You're like,
yeah, it was like, okay, that didn't happen. I'm fine with that. That's good.
Yeah, that was so odd. And it was like a soft pitch for a spinoff. That makes so much more sense as to why that was so random.
Yep. Backdoor pilot.
Yeah, backdoor pilot. But instead of
come on, Jesus Christ. And look at the ham-fisted punk guy from 1984. You know what I mean? With the mohawk and the anarchy shirt, man. As if anyone in the world does that anymore.
Yeah, when punk had gone mainstream, and you have to wear these things to be punk and they're expensive to buy these things.
Yeah, it's like a prop of a punk. It's just so stupid.
There they are. Look at them, all diverse. Yeah.
This is like I'm on SSRI.
Yeah. We all cut ourselves a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're proud of it. We just
a lot of hemoglobin going on there.
Yeah.
Hemoglobin.
It's all agenda. God. And for a spinoff, and it's all they were willing to sacrifice the show after one season, which is great. And already season 2, you're gonna work for a spinoff.
Season 2, that's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
Because it's got so much goodwill. I didn't really like season 2 because I remember all the girls were swooning over that dude with the mullet, and I was like, his hair is awful. I hated that guy, and I hated his character. And him and the other girl, they didn't contribute anything. They were just there. They didn't help save the day or really impact the story in any way. And it was everyone was like, "Whoa, they're so interesting." And then there was wasn't there some racial thing too? Didn't they have some kind of racist? They were standing up to a racist at one point towards the end of the season. Yeah, it's just it's thin, and it was literally just the same thing again.
Yeah, season 1 was okay, this is cool. Season 2 was okay, whatever. Season 3 was get the hell out of here, and then season 4 was okay, we're gonna try and save you. And it was all right, you have my attention.
Leave Billy alone, says Kitty. But I agree. That actor was great. He was awesome in that role. He really was. So, but yeah, I mean, and he picked the right mom to bang. That would be the mom I'd want to bang too. So we were on that. Yes, I know they didn't actually do it, but I mean,
that's one of the great things. The first season when you have the guy that's the lifeguard, and they're doing the cars moving in stereo. Because they're flipping Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where Phoebe Cates comes out of the pool,
right?
And to that song.
That's a good point, Squiddy. This guy in the back has got to be 50.
That's why I said, who's the old fat black man?
He looks like Damon, or no, the white guy in the back.
And what's he looking at?
That ass.
Ooh, yeah, that ass.
Does he have two long braids too? Is that what that is from the back?
Yeah, braids.
Okay.
Totally.
2016 must have been an absolutely wild time in Hollywood. You could just like grab a brown girl off the street, walk into an executive's office, and they'd give you like $80 million. Like,
dude, I knew girls who were just like catering and like, you know, had been writing for like a year and a half and were getting like internships at like big studios, like, you know, because they fit the diversity criteria.
Yep.
I
Just
hated
like, wow,
that so much.
Congratulations. I'm going to desperately try to play a fucking waiter on a stupid sitcom and not get it.
Lady B experienced that, Hollywood.
I hate like that because there were times when I did stuff and it was like, I'm here just because I'm a woman or I'm just because this one thing. And it's like, that's made me feel so bad about myself. Like, I'm not here because I'm good or anything. I didn't felt like I earned anything. I felt like an imposter. And then on the other hand, like, I was also also felt it was kind of like, since those things weren't like technically like the writing industry of it, that was like, okay, you're doing audio engineering stuff, and that was like 15 years before now. And yeah, but coming back and like trying to do the writing part of it, it's like, yeah, it's like such horribly untalented people would get shit actually produced on TV, and it's like, this is so bad. Like, my teachers wouldn't accept this stuff if I wrote this. And
yeah, I mean, we saw it in other industries, you know, with
Yeah.
the affirmative action stuff, and you know, they would give special preference to certain people. The thing is that even if you were good,
yeah,
people would look and be like, "Man, did you just get this job because
Yeah.
you fit the mark?"
Mo's got to go. Mo, thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was fun streaming with everybody, including Alex Green,
Mo.
who had the one desk that doesn't have the giant ass lamp nailed to the desk that he can turn on. Just kidding.
So
kind of.
But the GCA and yourself. What do you want on your channel? Anything coming up for yourself?
For me, I've been playing. So I am here. Let me turn my camera back on. Hi, there we go. Maybe, I think I like Alex Green. Here we go. Let's try this. All right, there we go. That's much better. I'll turn my light
better.
off. Yeah,
Very, very handsome.
That's how you stream.
But so I started playing Mass Effect for the first time in my entire life.
Let's go.
All right.
So I barely know anybody except for Shepard and Miranda, and that's it. Like,
Miranda's
I don't
that's
know.
the second one.
That's what people tell me when my thumbnail says I'm playing it for the first time. It has Miranda on it. And people are like, actually,
doesn't show up until much later.
You're talking about Ashley.
Yeah. Yes.
Ashley.
So I just my character, I'm Shepard, obviously. I just became what's it, Scepter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just became
Not
the
a
first human Scepter. Yes.
Spectre.
Spectre. Sorry. First
Spectre.
Spectre. Yes, I became the first human Spectre, and then I proceeded to not know where the fuck I was going on the map because it doesn't make it very easy to find out where the next thing is. But it's been super awesome, and Keith David is the best voice actor of all time, and I'll fight anybody that says I'm wrong. So, but I have that. I do the Monday Hangover on with Drunk 3PO on Mondays, and we're doing Independence Day is the movie.
Ooh, let's
go. Yeah,
the first or the second one?
Oh,
There's only one.
The second one, obviously, the first one. The first one, and because I'm a huge Opie and Anthony fan, that movie has been ruined massively because
I agree.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He didn't knock out the alien. He knocked out his suit. Yes.
Yeah, that whole conversation they have like really tainted that for me. But I go back and watch it. I'm like, I still love the hell out of this. But they were so right about so many different things. Like
my favorite one was Jim Norton, who just got on Joe Rogan. He's the newest Joe Rogan episode. He goes, it's like imagine if you had imagine that scene where they pull in where they come in with the alien vessel from 1940s Roswell.
Yeah.
Jim Norton goes, it's like if a turtle pulled an Itzel into your garage. It's like
but it's like that movie
and Face Off I can't watch anymore. I used to love those movies, but they totally
because of them, because they ruined it.
Yeah, they both ruined them. Yes.
Face Off is objectively ridiculous.
It is. Face Off ruined itself. It didn't need any help.
You would have figured that out, but the thing about Face Off, it's like it's still incredibly watchable, even though it's completely absurd because the action scenes are great, but it's just the most ridiculous movie. It's just like methed out. It's so insane.
Yeah, but the whole thing with Independence Day, all I got to say is, what's his name? Swiss Miss, the guy that played Jeff Goldblum's dad.
God,
he was in Taxi.
Chud Nelson.
Not Judd Nelson. Judd Hirsch. Yeah,
Judd Hirsch. That's it. Yeah.
Just look up Independence Day, Patrice O'Neal.
You should pull clips for that for your stream. That would be awesome.
They like people would hate my guts because people are like, oh, it's so amazing. I'm like, look, this movie's been ruined for me. We lost Patrice like what 15 years ago.
Yeah, almost 15 years ago. Yeah,
Mass Effect geekisms.
But no, Mass Effect. So check me out on Mo's Game Room where I've been playing retro games, but also Mass Effect. But yeah, no, we're gonna be watching Independence Day on Monday Hangover on Drunk Creepio's channel, and I'm probably gonna have to pull some clips. Foulball. I'm gonna have to
enjoy the makeup.
They're great. I mean, they're hilarious. It's just gonna
beyond hilarious.
Yeah,
they've ruined those two.
Ruin it. Yeah.
Yes, but thank you very much for having me on, everybody.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks.
Wish I could have contributed more, but I did like the fact that Colin Farrell beat the shit out of another dad. I like that. The Irishman in me is very happy now.
Yeah.
So. But anyways, everybody. Oh, sorry. What?
No, that's good. Well, thanks, Mo. Thanks for coming on. This is you might enjoy the next scene I'm going to show actually, but maybe
I'll stay for that one and then I'll leave. All right, I'll do an awkward exit. I'm good at an
Irish goodbye.
Yeah, Irish goodbye. Yes,
Irish goodbye. So this is one that I think people will recognize. Walking Dead, season 7, where a lot of people jumped off the show at this point.
Yeah.
This is the Glen killing.
Tiger. It's time. If he hollers, let him go. My mother told me, pick the very best one.
Now, what sucks, there's lots of things that suck about this scene, but people were upset about this because they kill off Glenn, who people loved as a character, who they also killed in the comics, even though I did a search before the show and AI was trying to tell me that no, he didn't die in the comics, but I have the comics. He's dead in the comic for sure, 100%. So someone's fucking with AI or it's already wrong, which could be, maybe the changing lore. But they also kill Abraham here. So they try to, want to get you to think, oh, it's not going to be Glenn. They'll go kill Abraham instead. And then they also kill Glenn, and that ruins later on.
They'd also head faked Glenn's death prior to this, where he's like in a dumpster or something like that, and oh no, he's gone, because the rumor was already out there that Glenn got killed.
Dude, and seeing Sergeant Randleman on his knees is like frustrating.
But he's
and he gets it.
Gets him again.
That's just not right.
No, and in the comics, he dies later, and his death causes a bit of a conflict, and so it's useful later on. They don't have that, so they substitute him for a chick who, like, no one watching the show cares about. So the people on the characters have to pretend that she matters, and they get upset about it. But this was just for like an okey doke. All this was just a juke move to make us think maybe it's not going to be Glenn.
Yep.
Wasn't that like so much of the show though, where they would do stuff like that, where they would just sort of like what's the word, like falsely like extend the story and the plot, and like, whoa, something happened. Like wasn't that like the whole thing about it?
Yeah.
It was issue 100 of the book where they did this, and it was done so much better in the book. And the Negan character, even though I like this actor, it's fine. He doesn't look like Negan. And Negan in the books was a big dude, menacing, like imposing. This guy's like a vegan, great uncle or something. He's not scary whatsoever. He has a good voice, looks okay, but
he's got the attitude and the acting and all this stuff, but he just, there's not physically intimidating.
No, he's like a size medium at best, I would say for sure. No, not good enough for that character, but that was one. A lot of people cite, they said they turned off from the show after this. It was too much. And the show is a bit about punishing you, just like Game of Thrones became, where it's just about punishing you for
we wanted Negan
for liking characters. Yeah. So that was
I was just disappointed that they didn't kill Carl. Carl needed to die a lot sooner.
Oh yeah.
The kid drove me nuts.
No, they shouldn't. You can't kill Carl. That was a mistake.
I'd have killed that punk the first chance. Like Carl.
I wanted to see Glenn get hit in the head. I stream with a Korean guy all the time. I was like looking for, but
I don't get flagged too hard.
Yeah.
So,
but hey, okay, so I'm gonna get going after that one. But honestly, it's been awesome streaming with you guys. It always is. But to learn that people know of Patrice O'Neill, my time has been well spent here. So I will spread the gospel on Monday. So the ultimate goat. Yeah, I wish he was here with us. I really do. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful night. Thanks for having me on, and I'll see you soon.
Later, Mo.
Peace.
See you, man.
Another one I have to get
Thanks
to.
for coming.
Thank you, Mo. Is because for Maddie, he'll get this one. When they killed off Alex.
Oh God.
Off
I still have not rewatched this season. I have rewatched all like the first 4 seasons. Like I'm not exaggerating, somewhere between like 20 plus times.
Yeah.
And this one, I've crept into it. I just can't. It's so hard to like go back and rewatch, and because the first half is great. Like they release, I think, like 2 or 3 episodes to start, and the 3rd episode ends with like a meteor hitting Earth, and you're just like, what? Like it was. I was like pumped. I think I even said at the time, like this could be the best season of the show yet, and then it turns into like feelings in hallways. Alva Salara has a coup. Everyone's just cool with where she just takes the government. You're like, what the fuck was that? Was a military coup, and then this. And the whole thing with what's her name? Where she became insufferable. Naomi.
Yes, she was fucking awful.
So annoying. And then breathing was like for 3 episodes. You could tell that was just supposed to be one scene that they extended over multiple episodes because they wanted to cut out Alex's scene. And then they just lit a freeze frame where he just stroked out. Like then that's how the character goes. That was one of the biggest blows in the war on culture. Because it was like the one show that I thought was safe from all this bullshit, and they got them too, and it was like
the girls were the key to everything.
Season 5 was fucking. I didn't like season 5 at all. So you liked a bit of it. That's good, but I didn't like it. I didn't like Naomi on it. I didn't like that we spent so much time with her being stuck in a hallway, actually walking back and forth and slowly running out of air. We know she's not going to fucking die, and then they make the call to kill off Alex because they don't like something that the actor was alleged to have done, which has never really been confirmed, except for he was a bit creepy at a con.
There was a lot of allegations, but nothing that ever came through other than like he may have been creepy.
There were a lot of allegations everywhere about everyone.
That's true.
But also, don't kill the character like this. You don't have to do that shit. You can recast him, or you can kill him in a way that is suitable for this guy. He dies off screen. He has a stroke off screen and dies.
Oh my god!
And then the weird thing is, like, the show memorializes the character like several times afterwards. So it's almost like, but that's even weirder because it's like you didn't want to get rid of him, but you did. Like, literally, just recast the guy. The actor is not the role. Like, it's so weird. Like they've done that. Like they did it in this season or season 4. They did it where is a minor character, but they recast Avasalara's husband. Arjun.
Yeah.
And it almost takes a minute because you're like, who the fuck is this guy that she's, and then he like, says something about his wife. And you're like, oh, that's the new Arjun. Oh, I had no idea. And it takes a moment to get used to it. And then once you get past that moment, you're over it. So it's just, I never understood this choice. And it's just so disappointing. And that was during COVID too. That was a real bummer.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was the finale episode. Like you ended off this shit. I was so pissed at what they did and how they did it. And they could have had him be a heroic death of some kind.
Yeah.
They could have had him run, but they didn't do it. And I believe they didn't do it because they wanted to keep the Razor back for season 6 in the story, but he could have run that thing into something to defend somebody. No, he just fucking
he could have done the Holdo maneuver.
Yes. Right.
But he could have. I mean,
he just dies running.
Something like that. I mean, I think because it's very much, it seemed to me that what they did was, okay, we got to get rid of this actor, Alex.
Right.
Wait, which one? Cass. Because it's like his character is like, creepy or whatever, and it looks bad and whatever. Okay. And that was weird because it's like he's still in a lot, especially in the beginning. Like he's still in the show. Like they have, I think, like him and Bobby have all this bonding and stuff. Like he's still a big part of the show. Then the second half, it's like they clearly just, scrambled some scenes together, just wrote whatever they could, and just had people like, and as what I heard Gary always talk about was the feelings in hallways. And I'm like, they're doing feelings in spaceships now. And it's literally just, a Naomi and her son and how sad she is about it and all this like overwrought, like not moving the story forward garbage.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, you clearly just did some reshoots where you could make it cheap and small and just you have the sets. So, you'll do all the COVID protocol and just get a few quick, scenes to sort of pad the runtime and make a Frankenstein monster of what you're already shot to like end the thing. I mean, it was such a mess. And for a show that was just like, some of the best writing still ever, that's just so tight and every scene has a purpose and dialogue is like just pure art every step of the way, to go down this route to in this situation is just it's tainted forever because of this.
So the show is still great. Seasons 1 to 3 especially
perfect.
And season 6 is an improvement. Season 6 is an improvement from 5. 5 was awful. 6 was better, much better. So it's still worth watching, but season 5 is fucking painful. And they have a chance. They could have left him on Mars, like rebuilding his family, but instead he could have been written off that way. They didn't do that. Yeah. They kept him to die alone in space doing nothing.
Yeah. It was COVID. They couldn't do any reshoots. So they just, didn't. And it's just like, yeah, but I would still say, Cage, that like seasons 1 through 3 play out like a 36 episode movie. It's fantastic from start to finish. I mean, it is really some of the best TV ever. And season 4 is interesting because then it starts to feel like the continuing adventures of the Rocinante. It doesn't really feel as tied in, even though it sort of is. And then season 5 is a mess. And then season 6 is a pretty decent return to form. Like it's acceptable. It's only 6 episodes, but it was acceptable. The other thing too that they did in season 5, which drove me fucking nuts, was they tried to make Marco out to be like the good guy for a while.
Yeah, they did.
They tried to make him like sympathetic. You're like, this guy's a mass murderer. He's killed hundreds of millions of people. Why are we even entertaining this for a single scene, let alone the run of this season?
I hate
so weird.
With that, it's so annoying. It's like, please just stop. People
it was
like
during Black Lives Matter and the downtrodden people, and that's what it was, all political bullshit.
Yeah, it became a soap opera that season. I mean, it was like, shut up, I don't care. Get on with the story. No, we're just going to keep hanging around. How long is Naomi going to be crawling around this stupid ship trying to turn things on?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. More and more and more of Naomi, please and thank you. Fuck.
It was like, I liked her. You made me hate that character.
I learned she started to become annoying during season 4. She became kind of like whiny and obnoxious and self-righteous, and you kind of felt like the actress wanted her character to do something a little bit different. And then season 5, I mean, she's just awful. She's a pain in the ass. She abandons the crew. I get it. She's going after her son, but the way she does it, and there's just so many. I don't know. It's such a wreck of a fucking.
Well, I mean, it's all the women. So you have the female belter, the
drummer
goes chasing after the big bad.
Marco.
Again, just everything is women. All the women take over.
It really was.
It was so obvious, right?
And then the stuff that went down on Earth was so retarded with Amos. They have that opportunity. Like they have this gang of people who are clearly trying to take the ship so that they can get off. Like, and it's obvious that's what they're there for. And they have an opportunity to wipe them all out. And Peaches talks them out of it. And then guess what? They come and kill everybody anyway. So we could have just killed them and saved all these people's lives.
Shit.
And then the gangster guy's crew, they're all wiped out. And he's fucking fine with it. He doesn't even seem to give a shit that Amos comes back into his life and wipes out everyone he's worked with. And he's just like, oh, it's been real. You're just, what the fuck? What are these motivations and priorities? Like, what do people care about?
Again, it just became soap opera because it was like, oh, here's Amos, and here's his trauma because we got to do that, right? It was like women writers took over.
Yeah.
This is a good scene. This is an example of like how they did space right. And they dealt with gravity properly, this whole scene. So I'll play a little bit of this one because it's worth, if you haven't seen the show, this is a good selling point to give it a shot at least.
Guys, the UNN ship is getting too close.
Now? Now! Missiles away!
Go. Go! God, I love this shit when it's good. It's the best.
Yep.
No, I
Stand by. Looks like we're in for another rough ride.
And that's like the president of the planet right there.
Yeah. Secretary General.
So
a woman who has a deeper and more gravelly voice than I do.
I love her.
It's it's close.
But I do love her. Yeah.
And this is like this whole tactic, the way it's done, and the style, it's just different.
It's so cool. You don't even know what the hell's happening when it's happening.
No, you have no idea.
Yeah.
I still like the way they conceptualize space travel, how it's not super fast. Like it's
hard science fiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Real distances you need to traverse.
Yeah. Well, and again, like the Belters being taller and the Martians having problems with Earth's gravity.
I think they planned on having all the Belters being taller. Like if you watch the pilot, like
there's very tall. Yeah, it's
really
women
tall.
that are really tall too.
I think that they're like, that's going to be impossible to cast, so let's just we'll just abandon it.
Good in theory. They didn't actually do it. If you liked this, Devin Erickson wrote a book, Theft of Fire, that is extremely similar to this in terms of like the space combat and everything going on with like the travel. Cannot recommend that book enough.
What's it called again?
Theft of Fire.
Theft? Yeah. Like Theft of Fire?
Thieving. Theft of Fire.
Okay. I'll take a look. Did you guys see that there's going to be an Expanse video game?
Yes. I did see that.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
I was floored by this. I don't know how that news missed me. 2 weeks ago, I just found out about it the other day on the stream because Listless Office Girl mentioned it in the chat, and I was just like, what is this? Yes. Like, I'm so pumped. No release date, though.
It looks awesome. And it was one of the first premieres for, I think, the Xbox show.
Oh, really?
What it was? Something like that. I think it was there's a bunch of shows that week from all the gaming companies, and I think it was the Xbox one, but it looks awesome. It looks really cool. And we need that. What a great universe to build a game on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird that it just kind of stopped. I mean, there were like rumors about like a movie or something like that, but there's just so much you can do with that universe.
Yep.
It was fun. I definitely would like to watch that whole thing again.
It's the best.
This one comes up
watchable.
For killer episodes. This one comes up quite a lot. Obviously, it's in the thumbnail. The episode is called The Bells.
The Bells. Oh. You know what? I like the way that was shot, and I love the soundtrack on that. But just like story-wise, this is so stupid.
She decides to just nuke the entire city.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna leave this one for White Cloaks to tackle because it's the worst.
Yeah.
The only issue I might have using this one as one of the examples is the wheels had already fallen off the ship.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That is true.
Yeah, a small child killed a Night King, for fuck's sake.
Yes.
Because she just teleports into the air from somewhere with a knife.
And then that's the long night is over.
Yeah, that's it.
You've been building to this since the first scene of the first episode, and now this is the payoff. Like this retarded fight that we can barely.
Oh, and I mean, the fight itself is especially retarded because what you definitely do with the military is put your artillery in front of everything else.
And also let's run out into the dark onto the immortal enemy that are out there.
Yeah.
Like, what do you even do?
I know it's so dumb.
Yeah, I hate my cavalry. Go Go get them. You go get them, guys.
And then by Dothraki, and then like,
Yeah.
wait, we still have a Dothraki army.
Spawn, so it's fine.
Later.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, outside the city with the here's the big beds. Oh my god! Whoop! Nope, they're gone.
It's shocking.
All the ballistas on the walls just decide to not shoot, even though one was able to knock down a dragon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And then we forgot the Iron Fleet.
Forgot about them. Gold cloaks, nothing. The Clegane Bowl, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cersei is just being a wine ant, just looking out a window, drinking wine the whole time. Like, what is going on?
Well, Jamie was actually always bad. That
that
was It's like
he just hit undo. It's fine.
Nah.
Yep.
Where do you guys think it started going bad? Because I was gonna bring this up, and honestly, I think it was like around like the second half of season 6.
It's earlier than that. It's like 4 or 5 that things start to get. You see a drop. It's kind of just like, okay, well maybe this is just a lull or whatever, and it just keeps butt fumbling. But no one could have predicted season 8.
The thing that really I remember being like, I don't know if I like this show anymore, was the Battle of the Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was awesome. Like, the whole plan hinges on not attacking first. That was like the one thing they made super clear. And Jon Snow, this like tactical genius who does all these great battles and scenarios where the odds are against him, they come out on top. Like, he's like a good military leader. He loses his mind when his brother gets killed. It's like, what did you think he was gonna do with your brother? Like, he was just gonna give him back. Like, and it's like he gets upset, but it's like, you know how many family members this guy has lost? Like, it's not like an easy thing to witness, but like he still, you'd think this character would keep his cool and stick to the plan, and he doesn't. And then he has to have fucking Sansa of all people rescue him. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's what I was like. This is getting off the rails. This is getting bad.
But you forgot about the awesome cavalry charge, which I love. If you have a cavalry charge in it, I'm gonna like your episode. I like that episode for that reason. I like the fight, and I like the charge. I like right of the Rohirrim, amazing scene.
Yeah, Dothraki right into a bunch of undead, just dying like hell. That's magnificence.
But to be fair, they were brown. Like who knows?
That's true. Yeah.
Right. You don't know.
Well, then they should have known, because I mean, it's the White Walkers, for God's sakes. You know better than that.
I know. It was like, I think they got mixed up because they I think the books clearly, especially if you've read the Apocrypha from the books that are never going to come out, it's pretty clear that Dany is coming back, and then they're gonna have to she's gonna have to reckon with fake Aegon, this guy that we don't know if he's a real Aegon. He could be, maybe, we don't know. But Rhaegar's kid, and that they're setting it up for them to fight, and then they also have to deal with Cersei. But Cersei also is retarded in the books, and it's clear she's going to lose control. So it seems like the trajectory would be to Cersei loses control of King's Landing to Daenerys, and then Daenerys has to fight Aegon, and then I don't know what would happen between them, and then they could fight the White Walkers, and then if there was enough time and they did some background on it, I could actually see Daenerys being the Mad Queen. Honestly, it's I'd
worked.
They just didn't do it gradually, right? It's just suddenly she's like,
all of a sudden,
let's go.
I mean, because it's kind of set up, right? She's somebody that is a foreigner. She's never lived in Westeros before, and she comes back and just assumes that everyone is just going to give her everything, and all the people are going to love her. And it's if you look at Dance of Dragons, you can kind of see it, how she has these sort of idealistic things that she wants to do, where she's trying to put her duties before her personal wants, and then it all just blows up in her face. The whole free the slave stuff doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I thought this book was kind of boring, but then I heard somebody really go into the depth of that. This is a turn for Dany, where she sees that being the nice person isn't going to get her what she wants, and she has to become a lot more brutal.
Zach, you better take advantage of this opportunity right now that's showing up on Kick. I mean, come on, this is compelling.
You're right. Yep, I need that. Panel chat. I'm way more gamer than film. Is a Leftovers worth my time? Good question.
Okay,
I have not watched it.
I watched it when it came out, and I was trying to watch it again, but it is a fucking downer of a show. Me and Will were trying to watch it, and it was just okay, this is really dark, and it's really depressing. I mean,
Yeah, I
like,
remember.
yeah.
It's one of those shows too that like has this big thing that we're gonna eventually tell you about. Stay tuned.
Mystery Box
Episode
Theater.
after episode, and you're like, I don't know that I care anymore, man.
Yeah. It was something that I was like, I didn't see the last season of it, but I don't feel like they were ever going to reveal like the truth that whatever the like white people that would smoke and the remnant people that were smoking. I don't think we're ever going to find an answer to the question like what happened or why did they have this like rapture event or anything like that.
Yeah, there was another show like that called John from Cincinnati that HBO did in like the early 2000s, maybe 2006, 7.
I vaguely
and
remember
it was the
that.
same thing. It was just like, we're gonna, what was that? That was weird. Stay tuned. We might explain it. And then they never do. And you're like, stop like dragging me along.
What did we feel like that was like that?
That was that was the J.J. Abrams influence, and
it was Lost.
Abrams essentially hacked interest in shows, but you can never end them well. So it's always going to be, and the audience picks up on the trick eventually.
Well, because it's like you start to recognize the pattern. Like there was a show called Outer Range, I think, where they're kind of like, well, that was weird. What was that about? That was strange.
Potential,
Don't you want to know? Keep watching. It's very disrespectful.
I got to tell you, for the Leftovers, I've heard lots of good things, but I didn't watch it because I saw Damon Lindelof, who it was his show.
Oh shit! Hell no.
I think it was talking about the show, saying that there's going to be a mystery that will never be. He told up front, season 1, there will never be a resolution to this mystery. You'll never know what happened, and we're never going to address it. And so I'm like, okay, well, I was
not going to watch it then.
Like,
I don't really want to engage in this if there's going to be a mystery about a mystery you're never going to solve. And because I think after Lost, and people were still pissed off about that.
Damon Lindelof, just like whatever lack of brain he has, just kept getting worse over time. I don't know if he didn't have people surrounding him that had semi-competent means of writing, but he just became. Prometheus is a steaming pile of shit. That's a movie that makes me mad.
I remember really enjoying it when I saw it, but it's like if you think about anything in it,
everybody is stupid.
Everybody's stupid and contradicts like their characteristics that they established earlier in the thing, and it's very dumb. And it's also breaking the lore of the alien thing, which I don't like. And
but that was Ridley. Ridley's gonna Ridley and screw it up.
God,
but then Lindelof goes on.
Fucking wins versus losses is like 3 to 10. You know what I mean? Like for every 10 things he makes, 3 are good and 7 blow.
Yeah, the thing is that like his range is so he has literally great movies. And he's got some
classics, indelible classics that change cinema type.
Yeah. And then he's got some, that was all right. And then he's got some shit.
Oh, The Kingdom of Heaven is retarded.
I hate that
movie.
Director's cut is not terrible.
I can't. The character has no arc. He's not a character. He's a vessel for the thing to move around him.
It's just plot devices, mimicking humans.
I hate that movie.
but Damon Lindelof's greatest achievement that really demonstrated his competence was HBO's Watchmen.
Wow,
I
didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, that's Damon Lindelof. Boy, that's his work right there.
That one was a joke. That was that was a laughably bad, like peak woke. It's like Ironheart, where you're just like, you're fucking with me, right? This is a joke. Like this is a parody.
Oh, it is so on the nose. I mean, we're going to need a bigger nose.
God, things were so bad, have been so bad for so long.
Well, the worst...
you forget about all this other shit that was in the middle of this.
The worst part about that Watchmen show is that the only cultural relevance it had was that it tricked a bunch of stupid libs into thinking that the Tulsa race riot / massacre / whatever they were calling it was like the idea that there was something called Black Wall Street that wasn't just like 6 buildings, 3 of which were barber shops that got burned down. And like, so now all discourse on Twitter about this, we're supposed to pretend that like Tulsa was like New York City at the time of this thing happened.
No, see, I don't think you understand. Tulsa was actually Wakanda. Wakanda built off of Tulsa.
I saw like a meme about like the relevance of that story as being completely irrelevant pre that show. Like it wasn't even like a like a known thing, and then like it becomes now like this kind of point in like the struggle of race relations in America. It's like it's not
kind of like Juneteenth.
Yeah, I love. I
like
I have a ball with that stuff. Yeah, it's that's when the slaves were finally freed. No, it is not.
No,
the slaves were freed December 18th of 1865 when slavery was ended in Delaware, New Jersey, and Kentucky. The Emancipation Proclamation only affects those states that were in rebellion.
It's it's nice though.
Down to
Like,
counties.
I didn't even notice any Juneteenth anything this year, which I was like, that's good.
Oh yeah, I did.
The post office was closed.
Yeah, it's a federal holiday.
Well, it's a federal holiday, but I mean, there was no celebrations. I didn't feel like I got any propaganda about it. I feel like it just like came and went. It was just like it's kind of like been what Pride Month's been this whole month. I haven't seen really shit about it, which is like, oh, nice. Are we really finally over this shit?
Oh God, West.
Yeah, this is one. This is one on my list.
Oh man, dude, the first season of this show was so well written.
It
and
was.
like the last episode, like holy crap, like wow.
I always took issue with that last episode, which made me skeptical about the next season. Was like when they have the big uprising, which was fine. How come none of the soldiers could shoot? They were like the most incompetent stormtrooper motherfuckers. Like they were there with these cool guns and all this armor, and they got massacred by cowboys with revolvers. You're like, how? Like that was so stupid. Like I was like, I'm with you, but that is dumb. Those guys.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you took into account the crazy chick with the big tattoos. So that, I mean, that alone, she was able to destroy like half of an army.
Fair. I forgot about that. But that was to me. I was just kind of like, where's this going?
Yeah, it was
doing?
a bit. I don't know about this.
Yep. But the rest of the
Angry
season was
Dolores
great.
hunting down humans, children, whatever. This is the character that we invested so much in that you got on board with through the first season because of like she does suffer, and it is horrible. But through all of that suffering, she learns and grows, and you connect to her. And then season 2, she's the Terminator, and you fucking hate her.
Look, she is woman. Hear her roar.
That's what it was. She was woman, hear her roar, and then she had plot armor on top of her bionics. Like it was so bad.
What was the character's story from season 1? I forgot what it was. She's like a wife that has to relive.
No, she's the daughter of like a farmer. She's like school teacher, school mom kind of thing.
Yeah,
goes into town, always drops the can, and then they go after him.
And
but she keeps having flashbacks to
all the times that it happened. Right?
Yeah, where she's been killed and all that because we find out she's the first.
Yeah, she's Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt. And she was, nightly.
Right. That was contrived too. Because you're like, wait a minute, why does no one know who this other guy is? Like the one guy that was like the co-creator is like a robot or something like that.
Yeah.
But like somehow no
Bernard.
one had ever seen his face ever. You're like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, because Bernard died early on. And they always kind of hide it, and then finds out he killed himself. And the way he killed himself was have the robots did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He killed him.
Yeah. It started to get you could see towards when the resolution kind of came, you're like, that's kind of loose.
Yeah, there was a lot of as it went on, it was like, okay, this is cool. There's some real interesting ideas about like consciousness of these machines that they're not fully erasing them, and so patterns are starting to get established in their brains that they start to show up. Okay, this is all cool. And then we start going on this Bernard track and all that. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it started to get weird. I remember like everyone was like, that was amazing. I was like, that was inconsistent. It was good, but not great. I did love Anthony Hopkins though, like murdering it through that. He was so good. And he was lucky enough to die before this show became the absolute parody it became.
Yeah.
So we also had Men in Black that season meeting his daughter. That was a whole storyline.
Oh God, Jesus!
And then he kills her. Like there was no arc, no story, no relationship. He just kills his daughter and kind of moves on with his day.
Well, she hates him.
She does hate him, probably for good reasons.
Yeah.
I we don't know exactly, but they kept.
Well, it's about the mother,
right, and the mother killing herself, and it was his fault.
Yeah,
right. It's always the man's fault.
And then she found because she found the behavioral analysis or whatever, and he's a psychopath. And
Yeah, I seriously haven't watched a show for such a long time. I don't like.
Yeah, I kind of forgot like all the like foundation of it. I remember being really compelled by a lot of it. It was very
it was
fresh,
really cool.
Yeah,
and fun and
What's
different.
up, Gay Rex Vectum? What a show! Yeah, this is Westworld.
I like the boyfriend robot guy, the guy right there.
Because it
Alex,
was
gotta
cool.
go.
Oh yeah, this soundtrack on this is slaps. Oh
Sorry,
shoot, I should get going too. I have
Yeah, we're gonna. I think we'll wrap it up.
Oh, you mean pop songs on player pianos?
Yeah, that's so cool.
It was cool. It was
Yeah.
really cool. And there was some good ideas. And the whole parallel narrative where it's like you see him when he first gets to the park and he's super, reticent and then becomes this ultra killer. You're like, oh, that's cool. That was interesting storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't realize it's in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool. It was a clever idea, but then it's a mess.
And it changed with they went from all boobs to no boobs.
Women.
Which
Women
is
are
also
in
a
it.
sign of the times, right?
Yeah, I think the writers were boobs.
The writers have boobs. I don't know. I like tits.
I don't know if they have them. They
Bless you.
Alex, gotta go. What's up with you? What's up with the white cloaks?
Starting to do some more book content. I think either this week or next week. Probably going to see something on Eye of the World.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Cool.
You guys, how are you guys handling the end of your favorite show?
Happy.
Enthusiastically, I will say I have been getting endless amounts of entertainment out of the people trying to save it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny.
The worst and the dumbest people in the world trying to execute something in real life is hysterical. I couldn't be more entertained.
Well, thanks for coming and hanging out. Lady B, what about your channel? Anything you're going to do on there?
You know what I'm thinking of doing? And there's two things. I want to do long form content about esoteric and occult stuff in Wheel of Time. I have some fascinating ideas on this. And then I've also been thinking about making videos to sort of I'm dealing with infertility treatments right now, and there's so many things that I'm I have a question and there's no real content about this stuff, and I've had to piece things together. So I'm thinking of maybe making a series of videos for people that are doing it and explaining it just on a different channel. So that is something that's in the blender now.
Cool. That's a great idea. That's needed.
Yeah,
for sure.
just people need it, and there's so many people that talk about but you don't want to talk about it because it's sort of embarrassing and a little bit shameful for somewhat people, but
it shouldn't be though.
Yeah, it shouldn't. People need help, and it's just a lot of stuff with the medical establishment too. I could go on for hours talking about, but I'm glad to be back here, and we're almost to the end of the process, so hopefully we'll have good results. So
you will.
Yeah, thank you, and I'm glad to be back, and thanks for having us. And
thanks for coming back, you guys. And Alex, 1.3K subs. Congrats, dude. You guys rode that season hard. Put it away wet.
It was good for us. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back, you guys. Yeah. Hope to have you back as regulars. Now that you guys are, even if you're on the road, you're always welcome. So thanks, Alex.
Yeah. Thanks. I'll be back now. Thank you.
Right on,
guys.
Good night, guys.
Good streaming.
Good night. Anything we missed that we really should bring up?
I have two things.
Okay.
Man in the High Castle, season 4.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. You're right. I couldn't finish it. I liked that show.
Yeah.
I could not finish it.
I managed to finish it, and boy, was I mad at myself for finishing it. I was like, I should have bailed earlier.
What happened? Why did
that's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, we get the magical tunnel thing that goes through time, I guess. It is incoherent. I have no idea how that thing ended.
I don't it started off so strong and so interesting, and they really did a good job, I thought, of making you still hate the people you're supposed to hate, but it was more somewhat in depth some of the characters. But season 3 was okay, and season 4 I just couldn't. Yeah,
it just became, it was like, what is going on? Why why is this happening? And
none of it made sense.
No, it was just it was a mess. It was an absolute mess.
And the chick and it became like all about like black politics too. That was a big focus now on that season. And of course our main character chick, can't remember her name right now, but she was, could do no wrong at that point. And it was like, such a great idea, really cool concept, and just
I mean, it's a Philip K. Dick novel. It is, and like a lot of PKD adaptations, people tend to butt fumble it pretty hard. But I think so there was a what was the Amazon series that was like Black Mirror, but it was Philip K. Dick, Electric Dreams.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So the guy that was in charge of that and had negotiated and started Man in the High Castle, he got Me Too'd for essentially making a joke. And that's how Jennifer Salke took over. And you see the loving hand because Electric Dreams just ended. And then Man in the High Castle starts to go off the rails. And
it's such a shame too, because I'm like looking at this shot and I'm like, man, what a fantastic costume. And you can see like these prop cars with like these well placed, like really well made, like bullet holes, and like just everything is so convincing about that look and the period of that. And like there are all these really, really talented, like brilliantly hard
the set designers,
people.
The costume directors.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like have you seen the HBO, the new HBO version of Salem's Lot?
No.
Okay, well, don't because it is. Oh my God, is it terrible? But that's another one that I just throw things because the people that did set design, the car wranglers, the costumers, and all that stuff, right? It is dead nuts right for 1974, right? To include when you go to the drive-in, the movies listed are period correct for it, right? I watch cars, right? If you're set in a certain time, don't have a car that isn't correct for that, that's too new or whatever.
Right.
I watched that thing, not a single one. I mean, they have cars that are new for the year that it's supposed to be, but there is nothing to it, right? And so I know that there are a ton of talented people that did all of that work, and you had a shithead director and writer, same guy, who just clowned himself and wasted all of that effort.
It's so frustrating. And you see, like, they're expert. I mean, like, every little detail is cared for and well constructed. They're like artisans and craftsmen, and they just get like the sloppiest writing, just the most bullshit, like shallow propaganda. Those people don't work a tenth as hard as the people who do all the other like actual nitty gritty work.
Yeah, and you're wasting all of their talent and the time that they put into this, right? I mean, because like, look at his armband. They set it up so that the U.S. Officers have a different armband than those that would be in Germany, right? Because he's got the stripes on it and all that, right? That's the kind of thing that they thought about it. They thought, how would you integrate these things?
Yeah,
they do so much work, like on the vehicles, to not just be whatever would have been correct for that year, right? There's always a little twist to them because you get that European German influence into what's going on, right?
Cool. Like,
and then the Japanese side, right, on the West Coast, right? Yeah, it's all the tone, it's great, and it was just pissed away by bad writing.
Shame.
The story is, people who don't know, the general story was that there's Germans got the bomb World War II in this alternate universe, and they win. The Axis wins, and they carve up North America. Germany and Japan does, and this is the fallout of that. And it's it's a great concept. It's a really interesting idea. The way they do all of it, it's just, it falls apart in the end. And I didn't finish what I don't like. If the show's going bad, I'm not going to finish watching it just because I didn't care anymore.
Yeah, it was terrible.
What else you got?
Okay, the other one that it really is the worst season of a show that I've seen. The Nightly News, that 2020 season was shit. It was totally unbelievable. I mean, it was ridiculous. The plot just, it went insane. I mean, the production values went really low. I mean, you had people like in their home offices when they couldn't even afford to, build a set or anything. It was just unbelievable.
That's so funny. I had one that was actually like kind of relatively obscure, but it was kind of when I started to realize that Bill Burr was on his downturn. Was F is for Family season 2 was like an animated show that he did, and it was really funny because it was like from Bill Burr's perspective. And the second season all became about the mom and being like getting a career, becoming more empowered, and this sort of like feminist trip that she was on. And I was just like, not you too, Burr. You too.
I noticed his tone and everything changed. Did he get caught like cheating on his wife or something, and now he has to act like a liberal cuck?
I don't know, because he always was kind of like a liberal-y guy, but he was also very like working class kind of
that blue collar stuff.
Yeah. And it's just evolved, and now he's just like a pussy. Like he's just this kind of relic of who he used to be. And once he got into Hollywood, like it all seemed like it changed. And yeah, I just remember this very distinctly because I really liked the show. I thought it was funny. It was like, it was any different from any kind of animation. And then when it became about the wife, like finding her empowerment, I was like, not you, too, Brute. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you should bring up the news because this was not on the plate for today, but why not? Why not? Well, before we wrap this party up. This is the end of The View, maybe, with Whoopi Goldberg.
No.
Talking about how Iran is actually like better. It's better to be a woman in Iran than a black person in the U.S. This is this is great.
Sick. Whoopi, go off, Queen.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
Where the Iranian regime is 2 days.
You know that was not true.
No, yeah.
So
that didn't.
Yeah, Matthew. What was his name? Yeah, it was not because he was gay.
No. It was like an ex-lover or something did it. It was like something. It
was drug related. They thought he had drugs or something like that. They didn't even know he was gay.
Wasn't true. Had nothing to do with that whole story bullshit.
Yeah. Matthew Shepard, I think was his name.
Yeah.
Weird that you'd have Whoopi like repeating things that aren't true.
Whoa.
To her defense, she probably has no idea that like she would never do any follow up or read that that kind of follow up on that story. So it's like it's kind of that was sort of one of these things we all had to learn about when we were kids. Like it was just one of those stories. It was just like, and they do this to gay people. Derb, derb, derb. So her being ignorant of that being a lie is kind of like it's not really that big of a deal, but. I really want to see where she's going.
Oh yeah, you haven't heard this part at all?
No.
Okay.
You hold on to your butt.
Yeah, let's go.
So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
Yes.
Oh no! Don't cut away from it.
Cut it off.
Yeah, I'll get an actual version of it. But I'll get it. I'll get it up, boys. Don't worry.
No, worth it. Oh, way. Get the blue pill.
I only learned about that Matthew Shepard thing like a few months ago that it was bullshit. I didn't know that up until very recently.
There was a documentary a few years ago that covered that, and I think his sister was involved in it.
That's it's just like the propaganda how far has it been going back?
Yeah, as long as you want to go.
Exactly. How much bullshit we've been getting fed.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple other dishonorable mentions. Heroes season 2.
Oh yes. Fuck yeah.
R.I.P. that cheerleader. She's still out in the fucking void somewhere, I guess. Okay, worry about her.
Bother.
Sons of Anarchy season 3 when they go to Ireland, and then it gets worse as you go. It kind of falls apart.
I had one.
Happy. Have you seen Happy?
Oh yeah, I did see Happy. Was there
season 2 is shit?
Season 2. I don't even.
Oh yeah, there was.
Really, Meth Santa. That was an insane show.
Yeah, it was.
That was crazy. It was pretty good. I remember.
It was. The first season was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a second one too. Yeah. I was going to throw out, and this is going to be controversial. I don't know if anyone's going to agree with me, but it really ruined the show for me, and I never really got back on board after this. Was at the end of season 2 of Breaking Bad, with the plane crash.
Mm.
I thought that was way too much. I was like, I didn't need that. Like, I knew already dealing meth was bad. You didn't have to like kill 300 people like over his house to drive that point home. It just felt like overkill. Like it just seemed too cartoony for a world that they had made pretty grounded. And it was like, okay, one air traffic controller has a bad day and 2 planes crash into each other. Like, I hope that's not how it works, because he's going to have other bad days.
Yeah. It's almost like there's redundancy in it. Well, or at least there used to be. I mean, we have some problems nowadays, but certainly when that was made, no.
Yeah, it's just like it was so ridiculous, and that changed the tone of what I liked about that show, because like I loved it up until that point, and I was like, this is too much, and then it still, and I never felt like it ever came back down after that.
Yeah, it goes to like a wretched excess of
wretched excess.
Let's be we got to go big Hollywood or whatever.
Got the white supremacist gang. White supremacist gangs out there.
Yeah, Ozark did that as well.
No, of course. That was another show that just got. It's not like they did anything in particular, but it just got the pattern became redundant. Where you're like, oh, okay, like
here's another group that we have to do. Look at where they came from.
How are we going to handle this? Oh, we handled it, but that created a new problem, and then we'll just do that for the entire run of the show. I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, I quit
for a minute. It was cool. Like the first season was fun. It was like interesting to see like a grounded like Jason Bateman playing like the guy from Arrested Development, but as a money laundering like drug guy. It was pretty cool. I do remember there was one scene that annoyed me when he was getting his fingernails pulled out, and he was like, ooh. I was like, that's like the most agonizing torture you could go through. Like you'd be screaming a lot more than that.
It's all he had.
I think this gets to it. I think.
All right, here we go.
Here's the thing. Let's not do that. Let's not do that, because if we start,
literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
Where the Iranian regime is 2 days.
Even if that did happen, that was like 50 years ago.
So
one time it's just like government policy. So there you go.
Yeah, in America they keep hanging black people.
Yeah,
is that what she said?
Yeah, regime today is nothing compared to
Dude, in like one like 3-month period in Chicago, more black people died than were ever hanged.
Yeah, and they're killed by black people.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine if they do it to each other.
The number one cause of death of young black men is young black men.
It's other young black men, yeah,
by a lot.
It's like a genocide. I mean, when you start adding up the numbers, you're like, this is an insane amount of dead black people, and like you guys do not seem to care.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, read the Moynihan report. Dana Moynihan was in the JFK cabinet and then later became a senator. But one of the things that he was supposed to do in JFK and then he carried over into LBJ's was to examine poverty and its effects or whatever, right? And he looked at the black population. And kind of the statistics around it. So in 1960, the illegitimacy rate for the black population was about 25%, right?
And that was alarming.
Yes. Oh, I mean, that's huge, right?
Yeah.
Today, in many areas, it's near 90.
It's crazy.
Right.
I read about some of this with Thomas Sowell's books.
Yeah, and so the loving hand of government did more to destroy black communities and families and culture and hope than Jim Crow ever did.
There's a whole essay on it by Thomas Sowell. It's called Black Rednecks and White Liberals, and it's really insightful and fascinating. And especially a lot of the earmarks of things you describe as like black culture are actually like white cracker culture that came from like the scum of like Scotland and Ireland.
Yep,
it was really fascinating. I was like, wow, and the way you describe it, you're like, yeah, that's right. That's what that is. That's so weird.
Yeah, it's kind of like feminism took the worst behavior of young men and said that's the key to happiness, women. So go ahead and sleep with 800 people if you want to.
And also, we'll financially incentivize the mothers to not have a husband.
Right.
We'll give you more money if you don't have one.
Yeah. And by the way, go get a job, grind away, and destroy like the most productive years of your life, and then wonder why you didn't have a kid, and then bemoan it. Right.
Oh, yeah, that's the white. That's a plight of the white woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Listen to this.
They used to just keep hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step foot during this.
Wait. That's not what you mean to say. It is the same.
No, it's not. The year 2025 in the United States is nothing like if I step foot wearing this outfit into Toronto. Killed for
I'm sorry.
No, I can't have my hair showing. I can't wear a skirt. I can't have my arms out.
I'm telling you,
I literally said it was up to the Iranian people.
Yes,
it is up to them.
And that's why I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good, whoever does it.
Ooh, nice point, Whoopi. You really
Slay
really
Queen.
said it.
Slay Queen.
You are cooking up there.
I heard was not what you meant.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
I mean, where?
Yeah,
she's got a point. I mean, we just described how many black teens get shot.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
God, what a retard. She never ceases to hit bottom.
Yeah, I do want to say, Granola, you keep blame on Clayton Bigsby out your mouth. Clayton Bigsby is he's a real man.
That's one of
the black white supremacist is
so
he should be
funny.
revered.
So funny.
And he believed in his position. I mean, he divorced his
all
his
the way
wife.
at the end.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's such a good joke.
Black woman is speaking. Yeah. Okay, Matt, what's going on with you with Foulball? Where are you streaming next? What's going on with your channel?
I did the MFR podcast on Monday, so go take a look at that episode. I talked about the whole Iran conflict and sort of my experience with like understanding it and the whole, my fear and my worries, and then the kind of right before I went live was when we revealed that okay, there's a ceasefire now, which was like what. So I talked about that a little bit, and so on and so forth. But I actually wanted to promote my other channel, which I'm going to put in the description here. There's only 2 videos on it right now, but I do plan on making more. I'm editing one right now. It's kind of a doozy, so it's taking a while. But it's just Foulball Film and TV, and it's just a more like just discussing the medium of film and television, but like from a kind of a positive, praiseworthy point of view. One is about the Expanse. If you guys are curious, it's sort of an examination of like why that show didn't hit on the level that I feel like it should. Like if you go on IMDb, it's in the top 25 TV dramas of all time, but it's still relatively anonymous compared to say The Sopranos or Breaking Bad or something like that. And I was really curious about that myself. I was just like, what is the deal? Why is this show not more beloved? And I got into it with that. And then there's another one. It's a little bit gimmicky with the way it's marketed. I might even change the marketing, but it's just 3 really intense scenes throughout media that I found were just so interesting. Like one is from The Expanse, one is from The Sopranos, and one's from Game of Thrones. And it's just like these scenes that I just feel like were when you experience them, it's like you there's a before and after when you experience that scene. It becomes indelible. So that's those are the videos that are up there. I'm working on a long video about the movie Layer Cake right now. Ooh. And I got a bunch of other ideas down the pike. So go take a look at that stuff. If you want.
Go Foulball Film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sex.
Was you doing a cooking channel or something like that too? Bartending?
I was, yeah. I still, go back and forth on whether I'll ever pick that back up. It's something that I'm like vaguely interested in doing, but whenever I do the content, I feel corny.
Oh.
It doesn't, it feels like I'm putting on a character. It doesn't feel like me.
Like
I have
Wendell.
Yeah, I should do it as Wendell, man. Absolutely.
Well, this is what's called a spatula. And you can use this in many different ways in your kitchen.
People will hate you, but it's worth it.
Yeah. It's worth it for the clicks, those sweet clicks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And Emperor Goodwin, what's up with you, dude?
So I think the next thing I'm on is Niat's movie night with Niat on Friday. We're doing Iron Man, which is a great movie. I enjoy that. Certainly better than 28 Weeks Later, which we did last Friday.
Yeah.
And then on Nick's channel, The Plot Strikes Back, we're doing Masculine Mondays, where we'll discuss The Masculinity of the Raid Redemption.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I've never seen that. I heard that's good.
Yeah, it is unrealistic. It's like Dread, but with an Indonesian SWAT team.
I love Dread.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
definitely worth a watch.
Yeah,
this is Goodwin's channel. He does nothing on it, but why not sub in case he wants to? And I feel like you must have like a hidden channel somewhere that has 1 million subs because of like all the stuff you know and how you do handle yourself in all these streams. How do you not have a secret channel?
I mean, I do, but I'd have to kill you if I tell you about it.
Fair.
He's actually Candace Owens.
Well, that's one of my channels. Yeah.
Candace Owens. Who would admit to being Candace Owens? That's rough. Yes. Excellent fight, especially today. Not a good couple of days for Wendell, the anal retentive chef. Yeah, there it is.
Dude, I swear to God, I just as a point, like I was saying, the not as good today. Like I saw the trailer for that new Jurassic World movie, and I'm like, the CGI looks horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm never even one to point that out or have a big problem with it, but it looks embarrassingly bad. How have we gotten worse as it's gone on? I was saying to my friend, it's like it'd be like if the iPhone like became a flip phone, but you still had to spend more money on it. Like it's like
there's like a webcam built into it, and no, 4K that's too much. How about 640 by 480?
How's it got worse? I don't understand. Anyway,
well, there's a lot of reasons, but again, one is competence. Two is a lack of planning. They've also, they've gotten rid of in-house effects, and now it's all outsourced to whoever's the lowest bidder, right?
Yeah.
But I defy you to go back and look at Douglas Trumbull's Blade Runner stuff, which, by the way, was all shot in camera.
Yeah.
Right.
It looks spectacular.
It doesn't go to an optical printer or anything like that, right? It is in camera.
Even the things that should look cheesy, like the things like the taking off of like the squad car should look bad, and it doesn't. It looks still good. Yeah.
Yep.
That's amazing. I mean, even the original Jurassic Park looks great still.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely looks better than all of the the sequels to include Jurassic World. I mean, we're talking about like The Expanse and why it wasn't successful. Blade Runner flopped. Yeah. The Thing flopped.
Fair.
Right. I mean, I was looking back, and 1982 may be the best year for special effects in movies because you have Blade Runner, The Thing, Tron, E.T., Wrath of Khan, Poltergeist, right?
That's a hell of a year.
Let's go.
A hell of a year. Poltergeist was great. I haven't seen those since I was like a kid. I'm a little scared to go back, but I remember loving those movies.
It holds up pretty well.
I bet.
Now there's a lot of people now, like kids would be watching and go, "What is this staticky box thing? What is going on?" I don't understand that, right?
That's funny. It's so irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that.
Like a typewriter killing you.
I tried to go back to watch sci-fi series too. That aren't they even that old that I thought I have good memory of, and I watched them again, and some of the stuff is just so bad. And
the sci-fi TV was never good. Like that's why it was so impressive. I think like Game of Thrones and it's fantasy, but it set a new precedent of like high quality special effects in a TV show. And The Expanse is like also one of those. But like you watch like Farscape, right? And it's like the practical Jim Henson stuff is so good, but the other shit is like it looks like a cutscene from a PC game from '93.
Yeah,
like it's so bad.
It's like Babylon 5, right? The when it came out at the time, man, this is great for TV and all that. And you watch it and you go, "Ooh, that's bad." But I would say that if you want to go back and watch an HBO series that had really good special effects, watch From the Earth to the Moon.
Oh, I don't even know that.
Yeah, that came out in the 90s. It was Tom Hanks and Spielberg. That was the first thing they did with HBO. It was right after Apollo 13, or it was Ron Howard. Cool. And then they do Band of Brothers after.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, after Saving Private Ryan, right? But that was what HBO was like. Okay, we'll show you how it's done.
I'm on a rewatch of Generation Kill right now, and
I love that.
So good, man. And it's it's one of those. Especially I'm watching it now, kind of like through the lens of like the politics that we're dealing with right now, and I'm just like, please do not do this again.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Combat Jack. Combat Jack. That's what it's all about, baby.
It's great. The dialogue in that show is so unapologetic. It is my favorite thing. Like I was telling my ex-girlfriend, we sat down to watch it because she's like, oh, I like military stuff. I'm like, okay, listen. The dialogue in the first 5 minutes is going to tell you whether you're in or you're out. Like he's going to be talking about, really vile sexual shit, like the second, like out the gate. So, they're setting the tone. And it's so
you're with Marines as they go into combat, just talking and doing, young guy Marine stuff. Yeah.
It's great. Cause there was that character from The Wire, that actor. And I found his character in season 2, like annoying. He's like this fuck up guy, but I love him so much in Generation Kill. He's like such a great, he's so funny and silly and just, it's a fantastic show.
Yeah.
Good recommendations all around. I'm watching Slow Horses.
Fucking awesome show.
Season 2 so far. So far, it's great. Yeah.
Dude, I want to say, that was recommended to me and I started watching it and then immediately it's like, it's a white supremacist. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, damn it. And then it's a misdirect. It wasn't them. And it was a whole smokescreen. You're like, oh, okay. All right. I'll pay attention. Yeah.
Very Oldman fucking rules too. He's so good.
So good. He's such a piece of shit.
Yep.
I know. That was actually, I stole a little bit of that for a sketch because I didn't realize that British people call Middle Eastern people Asian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They call them Asians. Really. And you're like, they're not. I mean, okay, technically on the continent of Asia, but that's not Asian.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's like Indian and Pakistani and all that is also Asian.
Yeah, and it's like, come on. Like that's
the Indian subcontinent. Stop it.
It's just stop it. We know what the word Asian means colloquially. Like fucking Brits.
Do you know what they call gravy meatballs?
I do.
In the UK.
But I maybe I need a refresher.
Okay. Let's do it. Spoiler alert.
Hello, faggot lovers everywhere. I have a message for you from Birdseye. Birdseye faggots will appeal to your whole family. They've made them with lashings of gravy, but they've gone easy on the spice because kids don't like them too spicy, apparently. Birdseye even suggests that people who don't like faggots could enjoy these.
They're palatable faggots.
Yeah.
That could be right.
I have to say, I'm really impressed that they could fit 4 faggots in that packaging. That was
right in your mouth.
That is some genius packaging there.
In rich sauce, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be on with Kid tomorrow at 10 p.m. Central. Her show starts with The Thinkers. Right there on Kitty. Go check her out. I'm going to send you guys to her after this show. She's going live right now.
Fuck yeah.
And Friday, Nadia's show, I think, Stranger Things, and then Circle of Jerks Saturday night, 10 p.m. Central. It's going to be gooder. So
let's go.
And thanks, everyone. Thanks for the panel, the chat. You guys are awesome. I'm going to play us out with a traditional goodnight song. Please stand up, pay your respect to the trans people. Let's go.
Yes, my friend.
Yeah. Respect to the trans community. And fuck you, trans folks.
Trans people are my friends. Trans folks gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for we're going in. Trans people are my friends. Trans folks gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for we're going in. Trans folks, show your fucking out. I'll knock you out. I'll knock you out. Transform, show your fucking out. I'll knock you out. You better watch out. Trans people are my friends. Transforms gon' catch these hands. Trans people are my friends. So respect them for we're going in. Trans people are my friends.